What's up, y'all? It's me again. Ain't nobody but me, man. Thank y'all for being here. Shout out family. How is you? How is you? Everybody who took the time to slide through on this one right here, man. We just having a conversation, quick conversation. Oh, look at that. Quick convo, real quick, fast. I'm sorry, y'all know I'm somewhat of a novice. I'm doing the best I can. I'm trying to figure out how to get my chat this. Hold on here. Okay, I think. Boy, have y'all seen this new feature where they don't show the chat the way they used to show the chat no more? Like it's down in the description, in the comments box or whatever. Uh, I'm working on it, y'all. Like my girl Tiana Taylor said, you gotta bear with me, bear with me. All right, I think that's gonna work right there as long as I don't get the fidget. I'm gonna push this back just a little bit, just a pinch, just a back. Look at God. Look at God. All right. There we go. Man, what's up, family? How y'all doing? How you doing? How you doing? Um, as usual, my girl, nobody but Psalm 146. What's up, family? How is you and Lil Bean Juice doing? Welcome in, welcome in. Y'all know what Psalm always say, God's glorious evening, African dreaming. Same to you, sister, and everyone who comes into the chat. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Unique prepper. Zach, I'm actually glad you're here, bro. I see what you putting in here already. Let me put it up here. Uh, I know it's early, but I got to put this up because somebody who uses AI on a regular and consistent daily basis, uh, I'm completely open to hearing your points of views and perspectives as well as anybody else's. Um, yeah, we're gonna get into that, brother. But thank you for being here, Unique Prep, and we appreciate you. Let's see here. Cynthia living with MF, my sister. How you doing? How you doing? Welcome in, welcome in. And Cynthia, you and a whole lot of others, man. But thank you so much for your kind words last week. It really, really meant a lot. Not only to myself, but I saw a lot of things that you were posting and putting on the community thing, and just being so supportive and showing so much love for those of us who may not still have our mothers with us over in this realm here. But you said a lot of beautiful, kind things, not only to us, but to a lot of other people. So bless you for that, sister. My man, Vision Preparedness. Vision, boy, you got over there. You showed out last night, son. You showed out last night in that live, man. Much love to you. Congratulations on all the success and everybody who was able to support. Uh, it's a whole. I say this for myself. I ain't gonna speak for my man. There's a whole lot of ways to support. The support is not always monetarily, but for those who can make it that way, it's always a good thing supporting that channel because this man, I say it again, always using his own resources uh, to help build and get this whole. By the way, June 2nd through the 4th. June 2nd through the 4th. It's coming up, y'all, but it ain't too late to be a part of it. Bug out weekend. So shout out to you. Salute my brother. I'm gonna get this link dropped here in a little bit. Unbiased LLC. Sid. Unbiased. You had a great live as well. Didn't finish all of it, I don't think, but we watched most of it. And I wanted to say my apologies. I didn't realize until after that I got off. You know, usually when me and April here together, like on Tuesdays, we kind of remind each other, like, you know, Unbiased come on. We know good and doggone well, unless something happened or she took some time off, Unbiased gonna be on every Tuesday, 3:30 Central Time, in the US. Our sister, uh, Gigi Natural Homestead, do her live at 5. It slipped my mind. I'm doing all this by myself, watching the chat, trying to get better at this. And so my apologies, sis, because you always looking out for us, always supporting us, and that wasn't my intention, fam. It just kind of slipped me when I got caught up in the moment, in the heat of the moment. In the heat of the moment. See, that was a song before most of y'all was even born. Y'all too young for that. Y'all know what that is. TX Lala, what's up, sis? How you doing? How you doing? Listening and working. Well, I thank you. I appreciate you. You better get on in here and enjoy yourself. Hey, Shanna. Sup, Shanna? How you doing, family? How you doing? Welcome in, welcome in. And Jason, whenever he get in here, if he can, I know y'all. I'm telling you, boy, them two right there. Where there's a Shanna, there's a Jason, and where there's a Jason, there's a Shanna somewhere around there. Uh, okay, Zach. You know what? Unique prepping. I'm gonna try to remember to come back to that comment because I want to get all your thoughts and perspectives on that. Matrell on a mission. My sister, what is going on, fam? How you doing? How you doing? Welcome in here. Miss Matrell on a mission up there now to us in Egypt. Who else we got in here? It's good to see you in here, my sister. Matrell on a mission. I keep getting. Uh, Greetings, everyone. Will be listening from TV. Okay, Miss Sandra living a full life. Thank you for being here. We sure do appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Watching us on television. Um, who else we got in here? Boucher, what's up, sister? How you doing? Welcome in here. Welcome in. Welcome in. Excuse me, y'all. Okay. Bouger Prepper, how you doing, sister? By the way, it is Wednesday, so Wednesday, y'all know what that means. It's gonna be uh uh Wind Down Wednesday. Bouger Prepper, Hands in the Dirt, and the Everyday Life of an OCD is Chick tonight. Tonight. It's going down, I want to say at 7 Eastern Standard Time. Might be 8, because these. Uh-oh, what was that? What's all this flickering about here? Uh, See who else we got in here. Okay, we all caught up. We all caught up. So, for anybody, if you don't, my man Vision always remind me, Unbiased always remind me, and a few others. If y'all don't mind, please hit that like button and please go ahead and share this live out. Please, please. Okay, Boucher says 7, so it is at 7. Excuse me. 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you catch them, catch them, catch them, catch them, catch them. I'm gonna get into this conversation because I ain't gonna try to pop-ups, combos, they turn into whatever they turn into. Ain't gonna be here till in the morning or till, you know what I'm saying, Wind Down Wednesday come on, but we got time. We got time. Hey, Miss Kathy B, how you doing? So none of this is new, but this is a concept that's growing. Hey, Liz B Journey, how you doing? Welcome in here, sister. How you doing? Yeah. Oh, look at y'all. Come on, man. Y'all better get in here and enjoy yourself. Get in here and enjoy yourself. So it's a lot of computer love going on. There's a lot of computer love. I ain't mad at nobody. I'm glad Zach is in here so he already leaving comments and making some of his opinions made. What I wanted to talk about more specifically is not only the relationship between um, automation and artificial intelligence. I also want to, which is, something we've touched on before. We've visited these ideas and, shared some discussions on how we might feel about this part of it, feel about that part of it. But it's a growing um, use of what some people call robot dogs. Not new, actually several years old now, but the way that they're being used and assisting law enforcement across the country, that's right. See, I wasn't gonna do it because I was trying to keep this live. Damn, I ain't even monetizing. Oh, well, you know what? Hell, y'all blame Vision. Y'all blame Vision Preparedness. He asked for it. I was gonna mind my business. because y'all, it's real out here. Exactly, Vision. Exactly, my brother. And I don't know if Vision or whoever else got time to maybe jump in this conversation tonight. Zach, you in here, you feel free. You could do it via text, or if you want to come up, because I am gonna drop the link. But I'm gonna do this first, and I'm gonna start with a quick, excuse me. So when I was a kid, like most of us, I really, really, really thought that one of the coolest movies, I'm showing my age, but yes, when I was a kid, it was this thing called Robocop. It was a movie, action figures, toys, t-shirts, all of that stuff. It was one of the biggest things of late 80s, early 90s. I want to say early 90s. Okay, Vision, take your time, bro. Cause I'm gonna play this right here anyway. So I absolutely was fascinated with RoboCop. It did freak me out a little bit in the movie when he took his helmet off. I was like, ugh. You know, not to be offensive, but it was like, ugh. Damn, boy, what's going on back there? So yes, Matrell on a mission, and it was placed in Detroit. Ironically enough, things that make you go, why Detroit, man? Why not Beverly Hills? Why not somewhere up and down Rodeo Drive? Why you got, and it was gray. It was good. Y'all ever notice, and I'm not trying to get too far off track, but y'all ever know with all of these, even the ones back to the 80s, how everything is so dystopian and everybody kind of motley and dirty a little bit, and it's always gray. The whole movie gray. The whole movie gray. It's just kind of gray, and it's got this whole energy and undertone to it. Mind you, it's the damn future. Excuse me, for those who got little ones listen, it's the doggone future. So you telling me in 2084 everybody motley, a little dirty, just a little bit, tattered clothes, eating groove. Uh, ain't nobody got no summer sauce in the future, huh? For real? Ain't nobody got no greens, no cornbread. Everything just groove. And y'all kind of hopping in and out of caves to fight the robots a little bit. Then y'all go back in the, yeah. Anyway, so with that being said, let me get on the Terminator. Terminator was always fascinating to me, and for many of the same reasons. I mean, you know, it is what it is. Still, it's about the future. Same thing. RoboCop was the future. Old boy Arnold Schwarzenegger, he came back first time. He from the future. Now, mind you, y'all, these movies are like 30 plus years old. Things that make you go, It's just something to think about. Now, I'm gonna get into this first video right here, and I'm gonna run this, and more or less, I want y'all opinions. If somebody leaving comments and I didn't see them, I'm sorry. I'm kind of looking up and down and all around. Uh, Me neither, Psalm 146. I can't imagine no future without summer sausage and some cheese and some cracker. And I'm gonna have to figure out a way to grow my own sardine, raise my own sardine. Cause you can't hardly trust what's coming out these cans no more, man. That's one of the saddest things about, girl. Child, don't get me started. But I'm gonna play this first video clip, and in the second clip I got, I want y'all to help me identify a bit of a contradiction in some of the statements. If I didn't cut that part out, that was a little too long. I ain't trying to have y'all here all night, but y'all help me with this. Help me understand, and I also just want your true, honest opinions about how you feel, because things are what they are. I don't have an answer. I understand completely. Um, Oh, Dawn people said they got to get out of here. Okay, thank you, Liz B, for speaking. Anybody else who spoke, Dawn people, I'm sorry I might have missed you, but thank you for working 12 hours. My goodness. Oh, that's a half a day. And then you got to get home and back. Oh my goodness. Well, you stay strong. You drink plenty of water and go and throw a can of sardines or something in your backpack. Keep your strength up at about hour 6 or 7. Matter of fact, you take 2 cans. My goodness. Thank you, Don people. We appreciate you. You go enjoy that work, that get it in. We gotta do what we gotta do. But yeah, I want to know what y'all think, because more so than it being a right or a wrong or who this or who that or whatever, let's just talk about what we see in front of us, what we could imagine coming in the future, and just y'all general thoughts and opinions on this computer love we got going on, especially with how it relates to law enforcement. Now, I didn't put up a video. I might play the audio from the one from Houston, and I'll try to explain it to you. But the one out of H-Town, it ain't that it was super graphic, but it's got like street signs and folk houses and stuff right there, and I ain't really want to be putting nobody. Yeah, so we'll get to that when we get to that. But anyway, family, let me go ahead and run this right here. I'm gonna play the first clip, and I just want to see what y'all think on the other side.
Controlled robots that are capable of using deadly force in emergency situations. CBS's Jeff Begays reports there was vocal opposition to the plan.
San Francisco police are assuring the public that robots armed with explosives would only be used sparingly.
We have somebody who's shooting, killing people, a sniper, etc. We're going to do everything we can to stop the threat.
The city's Board of Supervisors voted overwhelmingly in favor of the idea Monday night. But those against it raised ethical concerns and cited the impact on people of color.
You got to recognize they will be disproportionately used against black and brown communities.
For the last decade, the militarization of police has increasingly been a concern. In 2014, heavy weaponry in Ferguson, Missouri, sparked a backlash after Michael Brown's fatal police shooting. Armed robots are part of that debate. Currently, there are more than 1,000 robots and unmanned vehicles in use by police departments, primarily by bomb squads. The policies in cities like San Francisco could clear the way for an expanded use of robots as weapons.
He's down.
One of the first such incidents happened in 2016, when Dallas police deployed one against a suspect who had gunned down 5 police officers. In a statement today, San Francisco police acknowledged that it does not have a specific plan in place on when to use armed robots.
If we get to a point where there's uncertainty about who is responsible for the ultimate death of the individual causing whatever chaos they were causing, that is where I think it would be problematic.
In San Francisco, this policy will have to get another approval from the Board of Supervisors next week, and then it would have to be signed into law by the city's mayor, London Breed, a Democrat who has expressed her support for this proposal. Nora.
Those robots are like out of a science fiction movie.
Evolving technology.
Well, I know that ain't new information to a lot of y'all. I think most of y'all probably have either heard of it or seen it or talked about it. Hey, what's up, Martika? How you doing, sister? Yeah, get on in here and enjoy yourself. I just want to have a conversation about technology and where we at and what things might potentially look like moving forward. Because I personally don't know. I think all we can do is kind of see what is and anticipate what may be coming. But it's the dogs for me, and the ones out of New York, and the fact that that pretty much cover north, south, east, and west. Like, if this was something that was limited to a major metropolitan area like New York, I'd be like, okay, bet. I mean, it's a massive city with a huge budget, uh, resources like that. Okay, I get it. I understand. I could see that. But man, when it's in Dallas, which and that situation that they mentioned about robots being used in Dallas, and I think it was 2016, that big shooting, you had several officers wounded and a few tragically taken away. People in the crowd hurt. That was also a technique that was used to corner the suspect and ultimately take him out. But again, if you look at old footage of that was a big, bulky, extremely heavy. I wouldn't call it or define it as agile uh, robot. Plus, it was being uh, more or less controlled by humans via remote. Some of these, oh, dumb people, what's going on, bro? Oh, Tay Weezy, still kind of reeling. Yeah, we definitely will. We definitely will. Me and I'm sure everybody in the chat will send our prayers and uh, good vibes and positive energy to Brother Tay Weezy, man. Losing somebody is never an easy thing. And again, grief don't have a time frame. Healing don't have a time frame. So just let him know we thinking about him. African Dreamer said hello. And my goodness, whatever time he needs, just take your time, bro. One day at a time. For real, for real. My goodness. But yeah. Yeah, it's a lot going on, and it's changing more and more and more, and it's evolving. And the reason I kind of described that robot that was used in that situation that proved effective, it just wasn't as agile as some of the newer. I mean, whether we talking Boston Dynamics or I mean, that's the primary manufacturers of most of these technologies right now. But man, some of these things cold. They cold. I mean, cold as ice. You can't really. You could walk up to them and kick them and not be able to trip them up if you wanted to, because the stabilizers are that freaking amazing that they not finna lose their balance. You will lose your balance and probably your legs before you could even knock them off their feet. Internal, like, let's just call it a gyroscope, if you will, or if you want, that's still what it is. So for all my people who in here still, I know people don't want to be doing a whole bunch of typing. It might be too much to type sometime. Let me drop. That's what I meant to do while I was back here doing other stuff. Hold on. Let me get this link dropped, which I meant to do. My apologies, y'all. I meant to have this ready already. Come on over here. And then come up here. Bam. All right. There's the link for anybody who wanted to come up. But I'm interested in what y'all think. Honestly, for those who can jump in the chat. I'm also going to try to go back up to Zach comment and see if I can respond. Okay, there go one unique prepping. There go another unique prepping. And this is just conversation, family. It ain't about finding a right or a wrong. It's just about having a conversation, seeing what people think and how they feel about it. Unique prepping said exactly, and honestly, there's what I truly believe. I believe the AI was put in place so that the actual family household could separate. Nowadays, they text each other in the same household. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I can't disagree with that. But I remember one of your earlier comments, Zach, you alluded to the fact that that's something that you depend on and you count on, and so it's benefits to it. It's pros and cons. I just wonder which one is starting to be more. Uh, I mean, I can't knock it because I'm able to communicate and converse with all of y'all right now because of technology, because of some forms of artificial intelligence. It ain't humans alone. It's just keeping this whole platform run. Either one of them that's not sustaining YouTube is just human, and not sustaining StreamYard is just human. So I wouldn't be able to have a conversation I'm having with y'all right now if not for the developments that have been made with technology and AI. But I can't help but wonder where's, you know how some things have a no pun intended, things to take a mind of their own. It's the autonomy for me. I do wonder where and when is the appropriate time to start kind of putting the brakes on certain levels of autonomy. But let's say Psalm 146. Okay, and then Miss Kathy got something after that. Psalm 146 said, I agree with Unique Prep on that. A household divided cannot stand. Well, ain't that the truth? We see that all day, every day, and the results of it. Um, some to no fault of our own, and other parts from outside influences and manipulations and what have you. Miss Kathy B said robots and equipment does malfunction, so I don't like it, especially if it has weapons. Sounds dangerous, but they have been using them for bombs. Yeah, I mean that's true, Miss Kathy. That's true. That is it's a new world we living in. Hey, Miss D's Hollywood Garden, how you doing? Welcome in. Welcome in. We just having a small chat, small conversation to see how everybody in the chat is feeling about the amount of uh, robots that are starting to be used more and more and more by law enforcement, not only in the States, but all across the world. I'm just here for the conversation. I'm just here for the conversation. Hey, Miss Deborah Garrett, how you doing? Better get on in here and enjoy yourself. Miss Deborah, tonight we talking about, and who is that? Miss D's Hollywood Garden. Everybody who just came in, we just having a conversation, family, and we just talking about some computer love. We talking about the coming together of uh, robotics and artificial intelligence and how it's being implemented and used by law enforcement and what y'all think about it. B1 Joel, what's going on, family? Let me see what you said here. Peace, family. We just can't forget AI gets his information from humans. We are the real brains behind it. Depends on where they get their info. It could be good or bad. Absolutely, I don't dispute that. I don't dispute that, but I have to throw this in too. As somebody who is, I would by no means consider myself even remotely tech savvy. I can't help but wonder and notice when it comes to even let's look at some of the chat bots, right? If you will look at like the first chat GPT to what's getting ready to come out and some of the things that have already come out, some of the if you will look at some of the older AI from, I'm just talking 2 years ago to where it is now, a lot of the AI don't even really need code writers like it used to have. I mean, it's I'm not gonna say it's scary, but there's a considerable amount of autonomy that it's almost like they teaching themselves. it's almost like they teaching themselves, depending on, that's everything from just random YouTube videos to if you want to go read peer-reviewed studies, if you want to hear some of the intellectual debates between the smart people who argue, it's like everybody's in this conversation. I'm talking about everyone from the owner of Tesla to uh, bioengineers to your everyday coders and computer engineers. It's like uh, the one thing that I see that seems to have some form of consensus is that AI is advancing, and nobody knows just how fast this pace is gonna slow, or will it ever? Exactly, Bougie. So that's a man. I should have incorporated this into the conversation because I didn't want, because we've talked about AI before, so I didn't know which way the conversation was going to really steer. But Bougie made a really good point. How are they teaching themselves? Are they programmed to do that? And that's the ethical side, Bougie Prepper. It's like a yes and no. It depends on who making it. That's why so many ethical concerns are coming up with regards to uh where does where do we put the brakes on that? If honestly, if you can, and that's just me making a personal opinion. What's up, 10? The educated natural. How you doing, sister? Great live last night. Great live. I mean, part of the conundrum, if I'm not mistaken, if we got any computer engineers in here, y'all jump in and set me straight if I'm too far off the mark. But don't, as far as I know, I'm just gonna kind of stick with the chat bots right now. Chat GPT, and things in those arena. I ain't even gonna get into the more sophisticated stuff. Some of the most sophisticated stuff, the whole point is, okay, like I'll try to explain it like this. Yeah, you coded to absorb information, interpret it from collective society, right? So basically, if you use, if I don't want to keep using that name, I'm gonna say just chatbot, whatever kind. If you use chatbot, I use it. Who in here? What's up? Six Bowls is back. 10, everybody who coming in. So let's say me, Liz, Miss Kathy B, Song 146, Six Bowls, The Educated Natural, and so on and so forth. We all using this same chatbot. That chatbot learns from all of us. Now then you make that the whole world. Anybody who uses it. It may have already been developed with history up to, I think the older version, it had pretty much the entire knowledge of the internet up to what, 2021? And everything it's doing now is adapting and adopting all the new information. Um, it's got our voice, it's got our face, it knows our mannerisms. The more we use it, the more it, I ain't gonna say uses us, but it learns from us. It's a reason why, if y'all follow this type of content, uh, where uh, people are starting to say, be careful with this or be careful with that, because even now, with just the technology right now, like I'm on the internet all the time. We produce content. My voice is out here. Somebody could literally, with the technology that you could just download on your phone, like right now, take my voice, call my grandma or grandpa if they were still living, say, hey, I'm in Africa. Write a whole script. write a whole script with my voice sound just like me, my same tone, my same inflection, my same everything. We got stuck in Botswana or we stuck in Egypt. We need you to Western Union us or whatever to this account because we stuck over here and we trying to get home. Do y'all know, like, that's already happening? All it is artificial intelligence. And that's just like a very minute detail of its capabilities. Six Bow, let me read what my girl Six Bow said. Six Bow said, much love and respect, African Dreaming. Much of the technology being released was the, oh yeah, yeah, absolutely, 100%. No doubt it was Six Bows. So that's another reason why when we have these type conversations, it ain't about pull your hair, baby. What's done is done. What's here is gonna be here. It's only gonna be introduced into society more because it's old. It's old. It's a matter of phasing it in so everyday citizens in whatever country or across the world become more acclimated to seeing little robot dogs walk around in Central Park like they got right now. Ain't nothing I can do about it. Hell, I don't live in New York. Ain't nothing I can do but either not go visit or go visit and think they cool or hell, I don't know. But excuse me, I can't say this. It ain't the world we grew up in, but it ain't supposed to be. Change is the only constant, baby. Uh, Song 146 said, the scene from Fantasia comes to mind where Mickey, excuse me, activated the mop to clean, but things got out of hand. And then a whole bunch of more started coming to life and making big, yeah, I remember that a little bit. Yeah. Let's see here. Uh-oh, here we go. Here we go. Welcome in, brother. How you doing?
What's
How you
going
doing?
on, bro? I'm still recovering from last night, but here you are
Man,
doing it again.
man, congratulations, bro. I forget me. I want to talk about you and the successful
Wow,
lives,
man.
man. And boy, you came with it, bro. That was amazing.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Jay. Truly.
Yeah, no doubt. Hey, M&T living and cook. I'm gonna speak to a couple of people because when you go, I want you to go. Uh Now I'm for real, bro. I want to hear all your input. This is a good
Right.
point too. Miss D's Hollywood Garden said debate that AI needs human rights says it all. Now, family, this may sound impractical. It may sound impractical, but I'm sure at some point in history, people would have argued the fact that a corporation having personhood was completely absurd. So be cognizant about what you close your mind off to as a non-possibility as we move forward in this here thing we call this world. But
Mm-hmm.
if I didn't miss anybody, M&T Living Cooking and anybody else who came in, welcome in. And my brother Vision, please. Oh, and y'all share this link out if you haven't, if you like to, and make sure you hit the little up button, thumbs up button. But Vision, go ahead, brother, please.
You know, as we know, and I said earlier in the comments, robots and AI are here, and they're gonna be here.
Yeah.
We just have to deal with that. Um, can it be to our advantage? Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But from my viewpoint, and this is just me, I'm old for a
Of
reason,
course.
and I'm
Yes, sir.
just saying, eventually AI is going to fall into the hands of, no, let me correct that. AI is
Let me.
already in the hands of bad actors.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So what Jay was alluding to with, you're going to start getting spam phone calls with voices of people that are
Thank
going
you,
to
sir.
try to get some type of money from you
Thank you,
from
sir.
this spam call. It's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
get used to it. Not get used to it, but be prepared for it. It's coming. the robot dogs, all the robots we see and they show it generate. Those are old generations, folks. They literally have AI robots that you do not know that they are non-human. Period.
Come on,
And
man.
and
Let's talk about it, bro.
and they're already walking amongst us. And if you don't believe me, you can search. And I'm not going to tell you what to search for because I don't want my brother here to get his legs whooped on. And next thing you know, I got to do Wheels Up in 5 and go across 3 continents to go get him in April.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
But it's already here, folks. And if you think it's not, or they're not doing it already, you're sadly mistaken. Because keep in mind, they only show us what they want us to see.
I agree.
Y'all think that y'all think that
Go ahead,
I'm gonna
bro.
put it out there. And for my elders in the group, y'all gonna have to forgive me, and I'm not gonna use bad language, but this is a topic that needs to be brought up also. If y'all think cyber sex was crazy, wait till AI gets involved. It is going to
Oh
be
man.
a booming industry.
It's already nearing $1 billion industry, bro. It's nearing $1 billion industry. Uh,
Correct.
I think this is appropriate. We can have this conversation. We can talk about all parts of it. I'm gonna speak to who Odom's Homestead came in, little
Odom.
bro motivation. Yeah, what's going on, man? Motivation from the weightlifting geek. By the way, you can catch us later tonight. Well,
What's up,
it'll be
Joe?
evening for y'all.
Yeah.
And Joe, drop your link in the chat, bro, so everybody can make sure they connect and get over there. But before I get into the cyber part of it that we was
Mm-hmm.
talking about, the
Mm-hmm.
concern I have, Material on a Mission, this is exactly what you alluded to, bro. The concern I have is the programming is done by people, whatever belief system or cultural
Yes.
bias they have toward or kinfolk will be magnified. These are truths and these are all facts. I remember back in 20, I want to say 2015, of course, you know, there was a major push for STEM in a lot of
Yeah.
schools.
Yeah.
Both people, I mean, everything from undergrad, postgraduate, out, it's just debates, right? Uh, People with my complexion, my hue, a lot of the automatic sinks in malls and restaurants and all of this weren't designed or coded to actually pick up the excess pigment that we have. So you
Yep.
standing, you doing this under the sink 5, 6, 7, 20 times, and you still
Yep.
couldn't wash your hands. Now, I'm not saying that's a direct connection, but I'm saying that those are examples. Even with the issues with facial recognition, there was a congressman about 5 years ago who was identified as being somebody else in another state who had committed a robbery, I think. So
Right.
it's
Right.
there, but we got somebody else up here that I really want to get welcome in. Zach, thank you for being here, brother. Come on up and what you got? Welcome,
Ah, what's going on,
welcome.
bruh? How you doing?
See, here's my opinion on this. For me, artificial intelligence is good for what I'm doing and other computer programmers for our jobs so we could get stuff done faster. Also, I
Yeah,
love that it helps us come together because honestly, without having you guys, I'd be miserably bored. But here's the deal, it's hurting the society because we depend on it for simple everyday tasks. It's just giving us the comfort and it makes us more lazy.
That's
right.
real. That's
Understood.
truth. That's truth, Zach.
Understood. I think with observation, looking back over much of human history, everything that started out with a good intent or a good purpose. Uh, Now I look at this. This is a perfect example. First off, Zach, thank you for being willing to share your thoughts and opinions, especially with someone
Yes.
who relies on the AI as a form of communication. And man, just thank you for that. But with my other example, I look at something like not penicillin. What is it? Diabetics use a lot.
Insulin.
Insulin.
Yeah.
Insulin. Insulin was legitimately supposed to be free for the greater good of mankind.
That's right.
And why is it that within the last 2 years, certain companies have recently decided patent whatever it is, patent whatever that
Yeah.
now we're gonna go ahead and make these this medication, this life-saving medication, affordable to the humans whom it was designed for initially. Man, it's crazy. So I could see the same thing happening with this artificial intelligence.
Yes. And you know, folks, artificial intelligence, it is dumb until, because right now, well, what we see is what the version of AI that they want us to see, which is a version that has to be programmed. It has to be told what is what. And as you interact with it, it learns more. Here's the dangerous part, and Google mentioned it and supposedly shut it down. When AI becomes self-learning, game
Yes.
over. Game over for the human race. And that's my concern. When it becomes self-learning, it is literally going to be Skynet, and we're gonna have to deal with it.
That's it, bro. And to what Bougie said, this is a really good point. And I
Yes.
understand completely what you're saying, my sister. But resistance, I would never say resistance is futile, but then here's the other side of it. I always go back to this old commercial. I'll never forget it because I was in my teens and I was like, I was with my grandma. She was drinking coffee. It was during the summer because I wasn't in school. But anyway, it was Brian Gumble and Katie Couric, and they were talking
Yeah.
about the ampersand symbol, and they was talking
Correct.
about the internet. And this
Correct.
is like 91, 92, something like that.
Yep.
I know people who spent their whole life resisting not only cell phones, but emails and all of that stuff. And some of them were able to do that up until they left this earth.
That's
But
right.
for myself, at the age I was at, all it takes is enough willing people around us to box us in to the point where uh I'm not saying you don't have a choice, but it's almost at a point where it's harder and harder to go get you some land and live off on your own. It's harder and
Yeah.
harder to be independent. It's harder and harder to be off the grid. And if you just hypothetical, a small
Yeah.
town, if you in a city of 1,000 people and 30 of y'all don't want to participate, but
Yep.
everybody around you got you surrounded, it's almost just a matter of time.
That's
Uh,
right. Yeah. Look at
I ain't
Odom's
saying,
comment.
go
Look
ahead.
at Odom's comment. I didn't mean to cut you off,
Oh,
Jay,
no,
but
no,
look
no.
at
I'm
Odom.
good. Go ahead, bro.
Look at Odom's comment also. He said,
Let me
what's going to happen when AI comes to the decision we are the problem?
I don't see that not being possible at some point. It might be 50 years from now or 60
Right.
years from now.
Right.
Hey, Callie Homesteading with Pooh Bear. Uh, if I missed anybody else, my apologies, family. But yeah, that's a real good point.
Yep.
Motivation said we all about to be Will Smith.
That's it. For real.
I robot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. And
Yeah. Yeah.
if uh, this is a topic that we could be here all day and all night. Go ahead, Zach. Did
Of
you have
course.
something to say, Zach? No? Okay. Cool. If you
Okay.
got something to say, Zach, just say it, bruh. You
Yeah,
family,
just jump in.
just jump in at any time.
Yeah, Matrell on the mission said it will always require some form of power so that the vulnerability will never go away. Remove the power and you kill the computer. Uh yeah, you know, I mean, I
Yeah,
don't the average person, this is just in my opinion,
right.
especially in more developed countries, I don't think people wake up thinking about the fact that artificial intelligence runs your water supply, your
That's it.
power grid,
That's right.
your sewage systems, your things that you don't even think twice about. You just walk over to a wall, you flip a switch, the lights come on. You don't think
Your
about how
internet.
your internet, all of this, all of this. So I mean,
Yep.
we kind of already in many parts of the world are way more interdependent on these features and capability. I mean, it's in all a part. It's a part of all of our lives.
Correct. Now, I'll say this. You're right, but she's absolutely right. You kill the robot, you kill the computer, or you kill the power.
Mm-hmm.
So with
Mm-hmm.
these robots, and I don't want Jay to get his legs whipped. I'll say this, and he knows what I'm talking about when I say this, y'all.
I'm
If
sure I
you are
will.
coming to the bug out weekend, you need to participate in the fireside chat because we will
Yes.
be talking more in depth about stuff like this. But you are absolutely right. You kill the power, you kill the computer.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it
But
there.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
You know the thing is, and I'm gonna put Bit Bougie a point up here, but then I'm gonna go back to my trip. I agree with that 100%. But how many people don't even want to like? This is beyond domestic workers. This is taking over
Correct.
some domestic work, some
Yes,
farm work, some it is the reversion back unless it became absolutely necessary for the survival of humanity. I don't think people, especially with the resources to indulge in those things, are really gonna surrender those and live life like how people did 150 years ago. That's
that's
just my
true.
personal opinion. Now,
That's
could it be
true.
done? Yes. Will people do it willingly? I just don't see it happen. I ain't gonna say it can't happen, but I don't see it happening.
Right.
And Boucher said it has to be programmed that way, so it's still the problem of being in the hands of psychopaths.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes. Correct.
Absolutely. 100%.
Until AI evolves, well, no, until it is shown that AI has become self-learning, then there
Mm-hmm.
is no human interaction with it.
Yeah.
And that's what
And
we really need to
yeah.
worry about.
And again, unless people follow this kind of stuff,
Right.
it's already in debate amongst those communities right now. The
Yes.
ethical guidelines of where this is and where this is
Correct.
going is a hot topic amongst
Yes.
tech companies, educators, and the like. Again, bioengineers and computer engineers.
Yes. The
What's
the the
what's up, sis?
What's up?
Go ahead, Vish.
You can hear me okay?
Yep,
Hey,
we hear you,
Vision.
Yeah,
Bougie.
yeah.
How you
Hey, Zach.
doing? Good to see you. How you been?
I'm good. I'm good.
Good. But
Huh.
the my point was the original creator of AI is screaming and hollering about what Jay just said about there needs to
Mhm.
be a governance of AI because he knows that at some point AI is going to become self-learning.
This is why
And
I came up because I wanted to understand
uh-huh.
that self-learning part. Because to
Okay,
me,
so I'm
from
sorry,
what
go
I
ahead.
understand, all programming needs to be programmed. So when you say a AI is self-learning, how is that possible?
Because AI, what we currently see with AI are probably 3, 4, or 5 generations back of what they already have developed. and AI, because all it is not only programming, but it is computer learning, machine
But
learning.
isn't that computer learning programmed?
There was a baseline of it, but there comes a point where the code itself begins to recognize patterns and responds to the patterns that it sees. And that's what makes it become self-learning. Just like when we were babies.
So what are you saying? The computer can choose to do, but because I'm really trying to understand this, because to me, everything a computer does has to be programmed.
Correct,
So
but
for
right.
the computer to do something that is not programmed to do, that's what I'm not understanding. Like, how is it doing it?
Okay, it's not a computer. It is a language. It's
That's
not
a
a
good way
computer.
to say. Yeah.
Right.
That's a good
It's a
way to describe it.
language. And the more that you put into the language, the more it understands, and then based on patterns that it sees, it can evolve itself into self-learning. Just like when we were babies learning to walk, we would try to stand, we would fall, we would teeter, and then we would stand, and then we would teach ourselves how to walk. That's how AI is evolving. It's teaching itself based on patterns and information that it already has.
Which was programmed.
Correct. But there comes a point where it no longer needs programming because it's learning from, we're talking not just
But
10,
that still
100.
is programmed. It still was programmed to do what it's doing.
But there comes a point where that program no longer means anything to it. And it is learning on its own based on, we're talking petabytes of data. We're talking millions and millions and millions and millions of data that it has. And it no longer, if you Google self-learning AI, it'll explain it all. That's what Google did.
Yeah.
Google has been
Basically.
developing AI for the last 15 years.
Right.
And
Hey,
it got
real quick.
Well, I don't know what AI that we have, at our, that we can use, but I'm not impressed with it at all.
No.
I never liked AI from the
I'm with you.
jump,
Same here.
especially the talking ones. I
Yes.
really don't like those. But I'm not really impressed unless I don't have at my disposal to use the ones that could do all this stuff that they're talking about. But far as like the talking rope and they sitting and they talking to them, I'm not impressed with none of that stuff. To me, it's unlike human-like. You could never.
Yes.
To me, it's not like talking. I don't see how they were talking to a human at all, having a conversation, because first of all, it's programmed to say whatever is told to say to me. It's not like me and you now, how we all sitting here and talking and listening and hearing and responding in a human way, not in a programmed way.
Correct.
To respond to each other. So I'm really not impressed with none of it at all.
But it kind of is. Well, hold on. Let me speak to some people, and I'm gonna say some of that, and I'm gonna get to Lala TX point too. What's up, J3GS, Coach Mary Ma, a resilient dad? Then came up in here. What's
David
up, my
Corey?
brother? David Corey with Crop up in here. Anybody else? I'm gonna try to go back and catch up with these comments because I'm so behind. And to
Fiona's life.
Yeah, Fiona's life. What's up, family? To TX Lala. Look, I think for me it's a both and rather than the either or.
Right.
Fear of change is fear of the future. I say yeah to a degree, but it depends on what that future is changing into.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I don't disagree, but I think it's a little bit more nuanced than that, and not quite that black and white for me personally. But
Right.
I understand what you're saying.
Yep,
Any of my tech people out there besides the gentleman we got up here, that want to come in and offer up they opinions, thoughts, suggestions. I'm all ears. And before I let y'all get back to the convo, to Bougie, that's when you said that, that put me in the mind about uh how basic some of these, which that was AI too. If you think 15, 20 years ago, when they first started getting rid of actual real operators, they started using these AIs, right? And these artificial intelligence would
Right.
basically answer the phone when you would
Yep.
call, and you hear how computerish they sound and robotic, and it would take a half a second, 2 seconds for a response because it had to try and find a response to the
Right.
language that you said. And now you can call there and you almost can't tell if it's before you even ask your question all the way, they are, okay, let me get that. Okay, let me check
Some
on
of
that.
that
Like,
stuff still
it's
don't
almost
work good because it'd be like, I don't understand what you just said. What you said? Could you please say it again? Them things is
right,
annoying.
right. Exactly. So, and for people who interested, if you would look this stuff up, the advancements in just the past 6 years,
Yes.
again, not that it's just being developed, it's that it's being released to the public, uh,
Correct.
is really mind-boggling. And as far as what Vision was saying, it's debate. Hold on, y'all go ahead. I gotta take this call real quick.
Yeah. So Bougie, what you're saying, so with self-learning AI, it's not, it's more complex than a basic computer, than a computer program. Okay.
Hmm.
And it gets to a point that it is smart enough that it looks at the data that has been inputted into its system, that it can make decisions on its own without human intervention.
So it's programmed. Well, because it's connected to. So what I'm hearing is because it's continuously being fed data. This is how it what it uses to make itself better,
Yes.
but it's still programmed to do that.
There, yeah, there is, well, yes, there, self-learning AI is artificial intelligence that can train itself using unlabeled data. In other words, like you said, yeah, everything that's being put in, it makes its own decision based on that. It works by analyzing, let's say, a data set. And that's how it becomes self-learning, because if here's a basic example. If I program AI colors, red, blue, black, and white, okay, it can take those basic, or the basic colors, and start putting those colors together and saying, oh, wait a minute, I can make green by putting blue and yellow together. Nobody told it how to make green. It learned that if I use the blue color and the yellow color, I now have made a new color called green. That's how it learns. And it does that. It learns things like that, not quicker than a human can think, but very close to it. Because there's nothing on this planet more powerful computer than a human's brain.
Yeah,
Period.
it is exactly. And
Right.
well,
I'm with
I
you
mean, as
on
far as
that.
like what the AI I have come across, I'm not
Right.
impressed with none
No,
of
me
it
neither.
at
And
all.
I won't use it. I don't use it. Um, and I have my own personal thoughts on it that I won't share it here, because I don't want my brother's legs to get whooped and then I got to go get them.
We have to, yeah, we. I mean, our participation, I think, plays a very big
Correct.
part into how all of this progresses. And
Mhm.
I understand how y'all saying mostly everything is going to be interconnected. But I mean, we had how many years, generations that have, thrived without all of this so-called technology that
Correct.
we have now. And I don't see why we couldn't thrive without it either when it comes to a point where it's not beneficial to us.
To us, it's not. But here's a prime example. What movie was that? Oh, the movie I, Robot. When they went to the facility that was building these robots, and there was
Right.
not one human being there. Everything was being built by robots. There's companies out here that are making products that nobody works in the facilities. They're all robotic. Amazon is doing it. Amazon is testing it. They want their warehouses basically humanless, completely operated by robots for delivery and packaging and sorting. And that right there, it's going to put people out of work.
Yeah.
Um,
This is why when like what I do when I call places, I do not sit there and use the automatic.
the automated, I'm with you.
I don't like talking to that automated thing. It never
Exactly.
understands anything what you're saying, and most of the time it can't even help you.
Right.
So I always tell it to shut up and put a person on the phone.
Representative. Right.
Right. Let me speak to a representative. I think if more of us will do that, I don't want us to think that we're powerless. Like these
Right.
people cannot do anything without our participation. To me,
Correct.
that's how I feel. That
I'm with you.
Right, right.
things
I
won't progress unless we participate in it,
Right.
and not to have
but
that mindset that we are doomed or something.
Oh yeah.
It's
No,
more of us.
we're
It's
not
more of
doomed.
us than it is
yeah,
them.
I
Yes.
completely understand that
Now,
We
sentiment,
are
but
the
here's the
ones that
kicker.
have to use this technology in order for it to do anything.
yeah.
I understand that completely, but here's the other half of it. It ain't even that I disagree. Now that may be your sentiment, and that may be my sentiment, and we may agree on that. But if you just look at the US alone, 340 plus million people, 300 million of those people are game in
Right.
100%. Don't give a damn. Not only are they willing to use it fully in every aspect of life, they wish it was more advanced than it already is.
Correct.
Yeah,
They
no.
wish the stuff they wish the stuff that's not being released yet would be released. There is a
Correct.
movement of people out here willing, able, and that's get
Yes.
chipped. They
Yes.
getting chipped. You
Yes.
don't get no deeper than that. So I'm not disagreeing with your sentiments, sis, when you say we got the power, we could do that. But then you have to ask yourself a very deep philosophical question. Who is we? Who
Yeah.
is the we that want to resist, that don't want this to be our everyday lives? That just like you said when you were saying,
Those
people
that
have made it.
well, I was getting ready to say something. I'm sorry. Okay.
Well, for
I
generations,
hear you, Boucher.
I understand that, but for people who have lived for millennia, for thousands of years, without so much as a phone or nothing, they still survived. They still made it.
hmm
Yes.
hmm Well,
completely,
I
I
mean, well,
know.
I'll say it like
Go ahead.
this: you can tell who they are from the
Yeah.
past 3 years. What did
Correct.
they do?
Correct.
And it's a whole lot of them. It's a
Yep.
whole lot of them.
That's who you
That's
Now,
my
could
point
tell
exactly.
who gonna fold and who not.
correct.
I'm
Yep.
I'm
sorry.
gonna
Yep.
I'm gonna throw this out. Ford Motor Company 2 years ago filed a patent, and they just got it approved. They own the patent on AI technology that they're putting in all of their Ford vehicles, that if you buy a new Ford or whatever and you miss a car payment, they turn off the air conditioning. You miss another payment, they
Mm,
turn off the radio.
come on,
You
bro.
miss another car payment, They repo the vehicle. The vehicle will drive
Drive
off of
itself.
your property
Come on,
and
dog.
drive it to a local
And you know
tow
what?
truck that is waiting for it. And I'm going to tell everybody right now, for more about that, the Angry Prepper did a video on that this morning. And here's the key. They own the patent and the technology. Who are they going to sell that technology to? All other car manufacturers and possibly other countries.
Yeah, we need to get like the Amish people and get us a horse and buggy.
Yeah. Hey,
Okay.
I got me.
We got to get to a point where we just don't need everything these people is producing.
Correct.
This is where the optimistic me come out, because I ain't gonna say it's game over, but I'm gonna say it ain't looking good. Again,
Right.
if you got 340 million people, and 300 million is just as happy and smiling and going along with whatever come, I ain't saying that 40 million can't do nothing, can't have no impact. But again, with what Vision
Why
just
do we
said,
want to impact it? Look at the Amish people. They're not concerned about what we doing.
Correct.
They're
Because
not
they don't
allowing
do what
what
they
we
do. They've been doing it for
affect
decades.
them, and they living good.
Correct.
but that's why these conversations are important, because it requires who is we.
Right.
Who is we? You can't answer the other half of that without identifying who we is, because everybody ain't no, even you know how the people will be turned off by the conversation we having right now alone, because there they go again.
You know, those
Oh,
ain't the we. We can't be concerned with those people. We
That's
can't be
true.
But they
concerned with
impact our
people
life.
who's not on the road that we on. If they not on the road with us, then we can't be concerned with them.
But okay, this is why I think we should be concerned with them and pay attention to what they're doing and how they're doing it. What about when the day comes, and it very well could happen, possibly before 2030, and 10 years ago, this statement I'm finna make would get me laughed at, maybe kicked out of the house, out of school, well, not the house, but lose your job or whatever. So many people, even though Vision said many a times is very true, it's illegal for any business to not accept cash.
That's correct.
Ask again how many business don't accept cash. People didn't think that day would ever come. What
That's
if
true.
5 years from now, 7 years from now, 13 years from now, instead of pulling out your debit or credit card, that chip already in your hand, and all you got to do is wave it, just like your smartphone today? You ain't got nowhere to buy nothing. That's why I
Yes,
have
you
to
do.
pay
I'm going back to the Amish people. You don't have to go to Wally World to buy nothing. You ain't got to go to Sam's Clubs. You ain't go to the Amish people store. There's gonna be, I believe, what they call it, a black market.
Bartering system.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We don't have to get nothing from them, and half of the crap they got, you don't even need to get.
Right.
All the poison in it, all the fake
I
food
agree.
they're making. What the heck you want that crap for anyway?
I agree, but I'm also saying that, and it's just my opinion, it's just my observation. When I say everybody gonna catch the blues in some way or another,
Yeah, they
Amish
are.
people, and I'm glad you mentioned it, they already coming after these folk for raw milk.
Yes, they
They
are.
already coming after these people for a whole lot of stuff that they doing in their day-to-day lives in Pennsylvania, in
That's right.
what's the other state?
Ohio.
Iowa. Ohio, thank you, Ohio. There are
That's right.
articles, this stuff out there now. They've been coming after these people for the last decade, and it's only been increasing and intensifying. So I'm not saying that can't work. I'm just saying I'm looking at it at all. The parts I like, the parts I don't like, the
We
parts I think
gotta
can
stand our
possibly.
ground. We gotta stand our ground. Yeah, I mean, if we want to, what can I say? We gotta stand our ground, because to me, it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
coming. The fact of the matter is, okay, we know it's here. and it's only going to get more intelligent. And when that happens, now individuals, I'm not even going to say we, because I know my we, individuals are going to have to either do one or two things. Either you're going to fall in line or you're not, period.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
And if
Hey,
you,
Gina, what's up, sister?
what's up, Gina? And if you don't, that's going to open up a whole nother can of worms you better be ready for sure. We all need to be ready for that.
I'm thinking, I mean, our culture came this far fighting. I don't think we should just give up that
Oh no,
easy.
I don't give up nothing. Giving up is not an option for me.
Because, hey, Gina, that the stuff that they doing makes absolutely no sense. I don't see why we need to participate in it. And then, if these are good conversations to have, but we got to stop thinking that these people are so smart. They're doing some of the dumbest stuff ever. And we thinking that these people are so intelligent, but the stuff that they doing, I'm sorry.
No. Go ahead.
It's not all of that to me. I mean, we making a big deal out of this stuff. I don't know. I'm not impressed with it, like I said.
Well, for me, it ain't a matter of being impressed, and it ain't a matter of them being smart. It's about it's working. I don't give. They could be dumb as hell. It's working. They could be idiots. It's working. They can have my best interest or my worst interest. But anytime you see this many hundreds of millions of people influenced to the point like what Fiona put out here, Apple phones start tripping every year. Mine old as hell. Folks will be lined up. Some of them the day before if they don't order it online or whatever, getting the next one, paying thousands, and that's their business. They grown, I don't get in grown folk business, but paying thousands, like just to be a
Get the
part of
newest
this.
thing.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I don't think that it's not going to be sustainable. I don't think you look at it, it's not going to be sustainable. I don't think they're going to last that long with the stuff that they're doing.
Right. And I'm going to throw this out here. For all of you folks that have iPhones, do you know that every 5 seconds,
go
every
ahead, bro.
5 seconds, your iPhone is taking pictures of your face.
Of you.
And if you don't believe me, you can find it online. I've known this for years. Every 5 seconds. And I don't use iPhones, but
infrared.
You get an infrared light and turn off the light, and you can watch that phone taking pictures of your face every 5 seconds. And Apple claims it's because for face recognition. Now, why they need to be recognizing your face every 5 seconds, other than tracking who, what, when, where, and why? I'm telling y'all,
age progression and everything.
Yes.
Age progression and everything. If you got your phone for a year and you got that face lock mode, or whether you don't, this phone is literally every 5 seconds. You don't watch me age for a whole year, bro. And I'm not saying that as hell. I got one, so I'm not in the. I ain't criticizing, but it's real like that.
Yes,
and a lot of people don't know this kind of
stuff. They don't know it. That's right. Cheryl Faulkner, good to see you. Hope you're doing well.
Hey, Miss Cheryl, how you doing? How you doing?
Blue Lotus Vibes with Janetta McLean.
Hey, how you doing? How you doing? Welcome. Y'all better get in here and enjoy yourself. TX Lala said, oh, go ahead. Go ahead. No, go ahead, sis.
When he was talking about the picture taking, I had came across a video on YouTube because I have an Android. I don't use crap.
Same here.
They showed you how to go in. Don't ask me how to do it because it was deep in the phone. Where you
how to
turn your mic and the camera off. And it's really off because when somebody call me, they can't hear me. I have to literally turn that. It puts a toggle. Once you turn it off, it puts a toggle in your drop down where you could turn
Right.
it off and on. And even when it's on, I can't even go in my camera myself and take pictures. It'll tell me not it can't do it. It's not authorized to do it or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know if they have that on the Crapple phone where they could actually turn their microphone and their camera off.
Now,
Yeah,
I'm
it's
gonna
some
throw
features like that, but I don't trust it. I don't
right.
for Apple. I mean, now I would trust it more for Android or any other style phone than
I
I
don't trust
would.
none of them no more, but
Me neither.
I never cared for Crapple from the
I don't
jump.
trust
So
them, never have, never will. And I've been in that industry for 30 years. And I will tell y'all this right now. If you got Siri, Alexa, Google Home, all of that stuff,
Yeah. Yeah.
and if you believe they are not listening to you, you are sadly mistaken.
you can tell they are, because people who be on, I've been on lives where the thing just start talking and they not even saying nothing.
Right.
Well, let me propose this. Let me propose this, and if whatever folk like, that's their business. But I would say this: when it comes to Siri, I've never used Siri, even though I got that feature on there. They already
Right.
listening. And when it comes to Alexa and all of that, if Vision ain't on this live and Bougie and Zach sitting there, and I say, Bougie, Vision, Zach, how the hell they gonna respond if they ain't already listening? You
Correct.
can't answer somebody if you're not listening to
If
them
you're not,
already,
say
man.
that, bruh.
It ain't even
Exactly.
hard. It ain't even
Exactly.
hard.
Yep.
That's why I don't like nothing that's smart. I don't like that talking stuff. Anything, if I'm looking at electronic and it say smart or it got the Alexa, or I don't get it. I don't want it.
Right.
Right.
But here's the other caveat, and this has been done since the inception of smartphones. And I know this for a fact. I have seen it, I have experienced it. If you turn off your phone, it is not turned off, and it can be turned back on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think I heard of that. Yeah.
I've seen it.
That's real.
That is real.
Yes, sir.
So what makes y'all think that these robots at some point in time are going to be used on a regular basis, and the police forces or those that are in official security positions are not replaced or added to?
I'm glad you said. I'm glad you said that, bro, because that's a perfect segue for me to get back into this
Yeah.
to this conversation, because we talking about computer love, y'all. We talking about,
Mhm.
and I saw Matrell on the Mission put this in there earlier. Basically, it's the coming together of what was once mechanics and artificial intelligence, and it's starting to be used more and more across the world, but primarily back in the States. And I'm gonna play the second half of this little clip I made here
Before
from
you
some
play that,
news.
let me ask something. Go ahead,
Oh,
finish
go ahead,
though.
go ahead. No, go ahead,
Um,
fam. That's
now if I'm just curious about this. Now, when you say, because the police is different from the sheriff, right?
It depends on the jurisdiction,
It depends
but
on
yes, for most
jurisdiction.
of
You have a
Now,
county sheriff and
right,
city police. Right.
right. So
yeah,
now, would the sheriff, like how some of them stood up doing the shenanigans and said, "No, I'm not doing that," would they
Right.
still be able to say, "No, we not having these
Yeah.
things on"? So then it would be up to your well, we have sheriffs down
Local
here.
sheriff. Yeah.
It would be up to
That-
the sheriff to say rather they want this technology or want to use it.
correct. Correct.
yeah.
But
As far
here's
as I
the
know,
repercussions of that. If they say no, they're going to get cut funding
For that particular thing or for everything?
for
for
everything
everything,
across the board.
and that's
Everything.
exactly what I was finna say, bro.
Yep.
Because it's kind of like when you write when bills are written. you might hear one or two primary arguments made about that piece of legislation, whether it's a House bill, Senate bill, a state bill, what have you. It's 1,000 other things attached to that bill that are never even brought up on the House floor typically or at all by any
Correct.
party because it's 2,000 pages long. You hear about one part of it,
Yep.
and that's all that get discussed. So the refusal to accept, I have yet to see any sheriff, but I hadn't specifically been looking for that, sis. That's a great point, and that's a great
Yeah.
question. Could they potentially? Yeah, but would they? I can't see it happening, but that don't mean it can't.
Right.
Well, I
But
That
that
don't
doesn't
mean
think
mean
it
they have to
would
use it.
because if some of them stood up and said no to the shenanigans, I think some of them are smart enough to see that the issue with those type of things, and some of them will be willing to say, because there was a lot of sheriffs that stood up and said
Oh,
no,
absolutely.
we're not arresting nobody for
Correct.
this
Correct.
dumbness.
Correct. Now, just because they would say, yeah, we're going to take this technology doesn't mean they have to use it.
That too.
Right.
true
That
too.
too.
That's true too.
And Jay, before
Yeah.
you move on, there was a comment from Fiona's Life that says the phone always remains off even when the battery runs out. I'm gonna throw this out at y'all because this is my realm of professionalism. Why do you think they started making phones that you can't take the battery off?
Hurry out of. Yeah. Yeah. Come
Okay.
on, man.
Okay.
Come on, bro.
Even when your phone dies, there is still an internal battery
Come on
outside
now.
of the regular battery that can be used to turn that device on.
Okay.
And if you don't believe me, take that $1,000 iPhone apart and I can point to you 2 batteries in that phone.
Man, back when people were jailbreaking them joints, I know you not lying. I done seen them
Right.
open. I
I
know
was
what
doing
you
it
talking
all
about.
day long. All day long.
Y'all see what Gina said? Gina said, I literally just brought a car and I got the basic because I don't want all the electronics they have in the loaded ones.
That's right.
Yeah,
But
we
even the
have
basic one.
to. I'm so glad I grew up in I guess because the era that I grew up with, we didn't. I know how to do without this stuff.
You and
We
me
was the
both.
one that had the encyclopedias, and we went to the
Right.
library,
Britannica.
and
Right.
so if this stuff goes away, or if it's a time where I don't need it, I know I'll be able to survive because I have lived
Yes.
a decade or more
Yes.
without it.
I wish
Of
I could
course.
find my daddy's 1971 Ford LTD Broham.
Come on, bro. Come on. Man.
Yeah,
Hey, fam. I grew up with the Dewey Decimal System. And let y'all tell
exactly.
that I'm younger than y'all. But I was good, and hell, I was in my teens before stuff. Matter of fact, I was in my 20s before folks started getting cell phones all the time.
That's
And
right.
everybody had one and stuff. So it was a time before. I just what it's gonna look like moving forward, I don't know. But like Bouger just said, I lived without it before. I can live without it again. And
Amen.
life over here is extremely simple in comparison to a lot of the conveniences and luxuries that we have back home. And I mean, I ain't hating
That,
on back home.
that's what's going to get us, though. That convenience.
Oh, you can't even compare it. Man, over here, you still see folk, and I'm not down in the people over here. It's just the infrastructure. It's the way it is. Uh, Hell, my water was off half the day. That's why we have stored drinking water and we have stored non-potable water. Look,
There you
we
go.
gotta be ready like that. I see people wake up and go literally walking to get water.
Right.
I've seen it since I've lived here. Baby, a whole bunch of folks over here gonna be all right, but I have to be careful saying that because it seemed like, one-sided. Maybe I'm on this side, maybe no, man. I'm just trying to share my true lived experiences.
Right.
And in the
But
evening
you have
times,
experience on both sides, so you can talk about both sides. What's wrong with
thank you,
that?
sis.
That's
Thank you,
right.
sis. I'm just saying, man, in the evening time, you can just smell the food in the air because after the hustle and bustle start to die down from the day, most people over here still cook outside,
There
family.
you
Yeah.
go.
I
That's
mean
Yeah.
what's
that.
happening. That's real. That's real cooking and eating.
Yeah, it sure
Yeah.
is. I always said I didn't like the 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 propane to get like a propane
Grill.
grill because to
Uh-huh.
me
Hmm.
that's like you just took the oven and dragged it outside.
Hey, one thing
Yeah.
that I don't have, I have, but I have not used it in this house is a microwave oven. I don't, I can't
We don't have
stand it.
one. We don't
Right,
have one, bro.
right. I
We
don't
haven't had
like
one
it.
since we've been
Never
over
have.
here. And I ain't gonna lie. Now, sometime, boy, when you just want to heat, that's what I'm saying, man. That's
Correct.
why
When you want
I
to
think
heat
it's gonna.
something up quick.
You got to do it the old school way, and that
Yeah.
require it's laborious. It takes
That's
effort.
time.
It
Right,
takes time. But
right.
You know
every
what?
now and again,
If you have a habit of doing both, because I do both, but I do the warming up on the stove more than I use the microwave. So
Yep,
it's
same
like
here.
we have to get into two different like habits and stuff. Like know the opposite, how to do the opposite of what you're doing.
Right. The
You
only
right?
thing
know
I'll
you,
warm up in the microwave
Exactly. Sis.
is my coffee. That's it. I'll warm up my
Yeah,
coffee in the microwave. That's it.
yeah. Fiona, she over here. She said, "Yes, Jay. People are living very basic." Um,
And ain't
man, I
nothing,
mean,
we need to get back to that. Period.
yes,
hey,
yes.
wood
Mm-hmm.
fires. It's
Yes.
Yep.
real simple. Um,
Yes.
you know it's gonna be dry later on. So during rainy season, people store water, they save water. That's when people plant the majority of their crops because it ain't a whole bunch of houses who have the luxury of hooking up a hose just so they can water a garden. And even then, the damn water might not be coming through the pipes. So you
Correct.
got to wait on nature. You gotta wait
Right.
on nature, man. And you gotta time this stuff out. And 3-4 months ahead, it's almost like big farmers or mass produced farmers back in the States. It'd be everyday little people in their neighborhood. I don't give a damn if they a doctor, a lawyer, a teacher. They could be some of the most educated people over here. Folks we don't have a washer and dryer, family. I'm gonna be honest. I'm like, this is
Right.
how real we don't have a washer and dryer. We don't have a microwave. Either we wash our own clothes by hand. Sometimes we may get one of the workers who work for us to do it if we got a whole bunch of other stuff going on. But the wealthiest people over here, guess what they got? Clotheslines in their
Right.
backyard.
I know
You
that's
know,
right.
I have one. I
I
use
got
the
one
washing
too.
machine, but I hang the clothes up. So I haven't gotten me a what do you call it, the washing thing yet. So just in
Uh-huh.
case,
A washing
Yeah.
board.
you got
Yeah.
a yeah washing board. But
Washing
I
board.
do hang my clothes up. I use the washing
Yep.
machine, but I hang them up.
Nothing wrong
That's
with
the
it.
Teen 85. Welcome in. Good to see you. Chime Moss Farm. Good to see you as well.
Thank you, Brother Vision. Yeah, for speaking. I
Yes.
was gonna get to them. I'm gonna get to this clip real quick. Y'all please stand fast, stay where you at. I'm
I'm gonna
loving
stay.
y'all.
I got a call I gotta take, but I'll stay.
Okay.
All
Just
right, bro.
yeah, I'll
Yep.
leave you up there.
Yep.
I'm gonna get to this. It's so many more people in here from earlier. This one ain't but about two minutes and some change. I'm gonna play this one, and after I'm gonna come back and then I'll play the other one. Now, family, we talking about computer love tonight. Um, and how uh it's starting to be more and more of a thing in Houston. And with me being a Texan, I had already seen what was up with New York. I had already seen San Francisco, Boston, some other areas, and I'm like, man, and it's been there in Dallas, but I'm like, man, it's going down like that in H Town and primarily in certain neighborhoods and stuff. So I'm matter of fact, I'm gonna go to the next one and then I'll come back to the first one. But let me get this real quick. See here. I'm gonna slide on over to about right there. Okay, hold on. Let me go back a little bit. There we go. And bam.
The crime-fighting tool being used by New York City's police department has some people on edge tonight. Fox's Jessica Formoso explains why the community is not so sold on robotic dogs.
Spot, the robotic dog, has created controversy here in New York City. The 70-pound, four-legged robot equipped with cameras, lights, two-way communication, and artificial intelligence joined members of the NYPD when they responded to a domestic dispute at a NYCHA complex in Kips Bay back in 2021.
I've never seen nothing like this before in my life.
But experts say deploying the $74,000 robot to a NYCHA complex was the wrong move.
They went into a public housing facility with the Spot robot at the time that Black Lives Matter was really gaining traction in the US. And so we were questioning the police, talking about defunding the police, and here they show up with a rather expensive toy and they enter a public housing facility. So I think it was a bad decision, bad place, bad time.
The NYPD took a lot of heat, so much so they were forced to cancel the rollout.
So I'm gonna stop that right there real quick, family, and I'm gonna say this. So as you can see, this is not a new clip. This clip is over a year old, but the reason it holds relevance and the reason I didn't play the new one is because I want to have this conversation again at a later point. And Mayor Eric, well, I ain't gotta say his name. Y'all, the mayor of New York, and as well as other NYPD officials. This one didn't go well, not because the actual robot itself malfunctioned or something went wrong, but because of timing, because of the political outcry and backlash, because of the state of the country at the moment. So what they did was put it on the shelf. And recently, they've revamped this with newer models. There was a big rollout a couple months back. And look, for me, this ain't a matter of it ain't even ethical yet. It's just observation. What will come of this? Because I know how I done lived long enough to see how things start and what things can grow into. And that's all I'm doing right now is having conversations like this, peeping game, watching what's going down, how it's going down, because permission to consent today is permission tomorrow. Like Bougie been saying, we can do something, we can do this, we can do that. And I believe for somebody gotta say something, even say something, whether you in agreement with it or disagreements, but at least conversations can be had. But I could see it very well that it's a matter of time. Now you out with two officers, and when I say now, I'm talking about these robotic police dogs, as they call them. So today you accompanied with one officer or two officers, and then 5 years from now, these boys just out walking around by themselves like they already doing in some other states, in parks, in tourist areas, in places where people think they cute and just take pictures with them. But guess what that does psychologically? Well, it's cute. It's cute.
Right.
I'm used to it. I'm used to it. So let me take this down, and I'm gonna get back to the conversation. I'm gonna actually go back because I'm gonna run that first clip again after we converse a little bit. I hope everybody's still here with me. Bougie, you still there? Zach, you still there?
I'm still here.
Okay, good. What's up the experience with Sassy? Miss Kathy B still rocking with us. Miss Grace Gons off in here. Anybody I missed, I apologize. Miss Cheryl Faulkner still in here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I'm gonna try to get back up here to some of y'all comments. Miss Janita, Mama Nita in here, Coach Mary and Ma. Okay. I had a question for Zach. You could be working on this if you want to offer a response or if you already have it. Chime Mouse Farm said, unique prepping. Did you say the AI makes people lazy? Imagine the young people who don't know what it's like not to be lazy. They don't know how to be without AI.
That Zach, is so true.
Yeah.
That's why I was saying those people are I feel unfortunately is not gonna make it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
because the emotional attachment to the crapple, to the internet,
Right. Right.
as though when these things are gone, oh my God, what am I going to do? You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
don't
It's
know
real,
how to
sis.
pick up a book or pick up a board game or go outside or, really
Yeah.
actually go and talk to somebody
Yeah.
face to
Yeah.
face.
Yeah. That was you know some sis. I'm showing my age, but I grew up with a really old school grandma. And when I was little, I don't know for sure what prompted this in her and her generation. But if y'all ever done been in Texas, especially East Texas, we get some of the most horrible thunderstorms you could imagine, and you never know if a tornado tucked off inside one of them things.
Right.
When I was a little boy, the time I lived with my grandma, we were only allowed to read if the lights were still on. If the lights went out because the storm was so bad, you just had to sit in silence, pray, think, meditate, do whatever you were gonna do. But now that I'm older, I appreciate, for one, being able to be quiet, being able
Hmm.
to sit alone in my own thoughts with myself
Yes.
and just contemplate everything around me, have a conversation with God, Allah, Buddha, whoever, whatever deity you choose to worship. But that's something that I see a lot of, and I'm not saying this in judgment. I'm saying this in observation. So much of society cannot go without constant
Mm,
end on
mm,
end stimulation.
hmm. I'm trying to get my son when he goes to sleep. Take them earbuds out your ear and turn that stuff off. Stop
Mm-hmm.
having
Mm-hmm.
this stuff talking in your head while you sleeping.
Right, right. Because your subconscious mind, the unconscious mind, baby, it's
It's still
listening to
listening.
all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Your conscious mind may be in la la land sleep, baby, but it's a part of you. In fact, what's scary, the deepest part of you is still listening. If you watching some horror and some crazy stuff or
Oh,
something,
I don't
just
mess.
not.
I'm a punk. I don't be
Yeah.
messing with that horror stuff. Can't be messing with my head like that.
Girl, you crazy. Uh, Fiona's Life said, "My dada washes my clothes," which is a dada over here has two meanings here in Tanzania. Not only is it the language for sister, it's also dada is usually a domestic worker, somebody who handle household tasks. You don't have to be rich because it's a part of the culture. You don't have to be rich or
Mm,
necessarily a business owner to have a dada who attends to those everyday domestic tasks around the house. It's just it's part of the culture. It's just the way stuff goes here. So yeah, thank you for sharing that, sister. You reminded me of that. Um, so Bouger, that's out of New York right there, family. I want to, as far as that
oh,
last clip,
don't even get me started.
and anybody in the chat. And if you come on, sit you my New York sister, man. I know you like I can't sit up here and talk about New York because I ain't never lived up there. But by the way, before you say something, y'all, I absolutely love your accent. I got a homegirl over here
I
from New
don't have
York.
no accent.
You bet she. Shh, whatever. Whatever. But go ahead, sister. Go ahead, tell folk what you think.
I don't know. I'm just surprised at New York for the last 3 years. I understand why now because I'm paying more attention to
Uh-huh.
everything, but I was
Yeah.
expecting New York to be a little more tougher and push back. I wasn't
Mm-hmm.
expecting them to give in the way they did. So I'm kind of glad I'm down here now because that
Yeah.
was a very disappointing to me with New York, with New Yorkers, I should say, New
Right,
Yorkers.
right. I understand. I understand. Zach, you hey, anytime you ready to jump in, just jump in, bro.
To answer the question in chat, I understand that chime, but if they have people around them to help them learn and get knowledge to grow, they could improve with life.
Mm-hmm. It's a struggle. It's a struggle. It's a without making it a right or wrong, it's a generational gap that, like, again, I grew up, it wasn't no such thing as cell phones that I could afford. They existed, but that wasn't in every household.
Right.
So I think there has to be a coming together, a meeting of the minds between older generations and younger generations, because
Mm-hmm.
they live in a world that exists for them now, and we live in a world where we know what exists now, but we also have the luxury of looking back and remembering what once was. Technology ain't going nowhere, and I don't think it's all bad by a long shot, and I don't think it's
No,
all
no,
good
it's
either.
not.
But I
Nothing
don't think
is
it's all
bad.
good.
It's how you
Yeah,
use it, right? There's what did I
absolutely.
learn? It said nothing is good nor bad. It's just the way you think about it or something like that. How it
Yeah,
goes.
exactly. And
It's
like you
how
said
it's what you
earlier,
use it with, and that's why we having this conversation is because of what might be possible, how they use the AI intelligence
hmm
that they have now. What's up, Fallen Sky? Gina
what's up, family?
wanted to understand what the robots was about, so that you was going to play that first clip again would probably be good for Gina, so she could see what
Okay.
these robots is about. But yes, David, that clip he showed was in New York. They took the robot to respond to domestic call. But that's another thing.
I hate it was in the
Should the
hood too, man.
robot go to every call? Shouldn't the robot be used for certain things? I think that would help also, where if you're going to a domestic call, um, should the robot go for that? Or should the
I,
robot only be going like if there is a mass shooting or something?
the way I see it, the way I understand it, it's in a capacity much like a current canine would be used. The canine is I'm talking about real dogs now, are always with the canine officer, but they not always let out of the
Right,
patrol unit.
exactly. Because they
Right.
use them for certain things. This is what I'm
Yeah.
thinking that
Yeah.
should be
Yeah.
used for too, only for certain things, not for everything.
Right. And this the other caveat. Is it gonna remain that way? Or will um I don't know, man. Before I leave this earth,
Because it's going to be just like you said. What we okay now, what was that
yeah.
saying you just said?
Oh, I said con- approval today is like consent tomorrow,
Right.
because that's the way it goes. I'm gonna play this video, and hopefully my man, I got somebody wanting to come up. I just dropped the link, and that goes for anybody else who want to come up as well and share your thoughts and opinions. I'm gonna go ahead and run this video real quick. And this is the first part for all the people who jumped in a little bit later. Oh, by the way, I got to do a better job of doing this. Y'all, please hit that like button for your brother. If you haven't already, if you haven't shared this out, please share this live out. If you haven't hit the link and came up to share your thoughts and opinions, if you want to go above just putting them out in the chat, please feel free to do so. The only requirement I have, it's a requirement. It ain't a request. Be respectful. We don't have to agree on what we everybody here grown, but just be respectful with your comments and thoughts and how other people feel. And outside of that, it's all good. But let me get to this. Let's get it.
And given the authority to use remote-controlled robots that are capable of using deadly force in emergency situations. CBS's Jeff Begays reports there was vocal opposition to the plan.
San Francisco police are assuring the public that robots armed with explosives would only be used sparingly.
If we have somebody who's shooting, killing people, a sniper, etc., we're going to do everything we can to stop the threat.
The city's Board of Supervisors voted overwhelmingly in favor of the idea Monday night. But those against it raised ethical concerns and cited the impact on people of color.
You got to recognize they will be disproportionately used against black and brown communities.
For the last decade, the militarization of police has increasingly been a concern. In 2014, heavy weaponry in Ferguson, Missouri sparked a backlash after Michael Brown's fatal police shooting. Armed robots are part of that debate. Currently, there are more than 1,000 robots and unmanned vehicles in use by police departments, primarily by bomb squads. The policies in cities like San Francisco could clear the way for an expanded use of robots as weapons.
He's down.
One of the first such incidents happened in 2016, when Dallas police deployed one against a suspect who had gunned down 5 police officers. In a statement today, San Francisco police acknowledged that it does not have a specific plan in place on when to use armed robots.
If we get to a point where there's uncertainty about who is responsible for the ultimate death of the individual causing whatever chaos they were causing, that is where I think it would be problematic.
In San Francisco, this policy will have to get another approval from the Board of Supervisors next week, and then it would have to be signed into law by the city's mayor, London Breed, a Democrat who has expressed her support for this proposal. Nora.
Those robots are like out of a science fiction movie.
Evolving technology.
Yeah, Jeff.
So there's that, family. Now, I hope y'all will listen to some of the language used in the course of that video. My apologies, it was a little bit low. But welcome in everybody who came in. My brother Hands in the Dirt, Falling Skies, my Georgia folk coming off in here. This conversation is not designed to be first off, anti-intellectual, for one. Secondly, technology, but I believe it's a balance of acknowledging what you see in front of you, where it has the potential to go, and how that may impact all of us as individuals and as a collective society, not only in the States or any other specific country, but globally, because it is what it is. So with that being said, I'm gonna bring my brother with Crop up here, and I'm gonna give everybody a chance to respond. And as always, ladies first. Bougie, go tell everybody what you think, sis.
I don't know what to even think. Like David said, it shouldn't be used at all. But it's here, so like the guy, well, if you heard on the news thing, it says they don't even know when it should be used. It's not, right. They don't have a idea of when they're going to be using it, which I think is very important as to when they're going to use it. Right. I think that plays a big part, because just like how we mentioned the real dogs, they don't bring the real dogs out every time they come out. The dogs are trained to do certain things. What do they have these things trained to do? That might need to be the question too. What do they have them trained to do? What did they make them to do what?
Well, like you said earlier, sis, it's programmed. You and Matrell on the mission, and a few other people in the chat. It's a matter of how they're programmed. And let me speak before I shut up again. My sister Callie Homestead with Pooh Bear, David Cord with Crop, also a resilient dad. Gina, you more than welcome. And Hands in the Dirt, you crazy. He said, this the prequel to Terminator. David Corey, and then Pooh Bear, and then a resilient dad. Y'all please go ahead. And Zach, Unique Prepping.
I hope my speaker's not messed up, y'all. How y'all doing today?
Good. How you doing,
brother? How you doing?
I'm all right.
Good.
I think this is long planned, long ago. Like when you say with the regular dogs we have, these dogs don't even do what they're supposed to do right now. and then we want to bring in new robotic dogs. That what is the plan for these robotic dogs? What was this for?
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
that's
You know what I'm saying?
that's
I
why we
What
think
was
having
the
this
feel? What
conversation,
was
bro.
the feel? The need for them?
and it seems like it's a new form of military, just unspoken. Now that dog is a police dog, could go and it doesn't have a life, doesn't have any feelings, can do anything to anybody.
I think
Yeah,
that's the big part of it, that it doesn't have any feelings for anybody. So any action that's needed, it will take, without even thinking.
yeah. I'm thinking it'll act as its program,
Right.
but Callie, a resilient dad, and Zach, y'all jump on in here. See your mic off.
I think my mic is off. So what I look at is you go back to iRobot. You think about how when the grandma got the robot, she was like, well, he was like, Will was like, I don't want this in the house. And she was like, oh no, he's great, he's this, he's that. And then he turned on her and
Wasn't that
wouldn't
the
let her
new
out the
one?
house.
That
No,
was
this
the
is the
new
old
one.
one with Will Smith. Yeah, when they got the new version and everybody was getting them and everything. And then I think about they have this new AI that is for children, and it's like the babysitter type thing. So it'll sit down and it will hang out with the child. It'll read to the child. It'll play games with the child. All of this stuff. But this is what I was thinking about when Regine was talking about how it will learn in the commercial. And if you want to pull it up, Jay, you can pull it up. But it says that it will begin to interact better as it learns your child, because it's learning what your child likes and dislikes, how your child gets. So
Yeah,
it's already training itself to learn the child. So we take these courses in coding, and the kids, they want to play Roblox and all of this stuff, but it's all leading up to a point to where it's truly going to be the have and the have nots. If you don't succumb to their way of lifestyle, you're going to have to live this type of lifestyle. And
Is that
I feel
lifestyle
like
going to be that bad? Is it going to
we're
be
gonna have to.
that
It's gonna
bad?
kind of be like Hunger Games, because I tell you what, you guys were talking about, if you don't want to live their lifestyle, then you're going to be on your lands and everything. But if they take, how are you going to pay your property taxes if you're not a part of their system to keep your land? We got to think about stuff like that. We're going to have
these
to
are
pay our
yeah.
taxes or these types of things. Even if you have a deed, if you don't have the currency to pay what they tell you that you owe, how are you going to keep it? So at some point, even if we don't want to and we want to be the resistance and everything, there's not going to be squatters' rights. I'm pretty sure they're going to come up with laws to block squatters' rights and all of that stuff. And
Ca-
there
ca-
may be a situation to where there's no grandfathering in on your property.
Pooh Bear, I gotta say this, man. I'm so happy that you contributed that point to because it's something I was thinking about, and I'm so glad you said that. Now, this is the downside, and that's why these conversations are so vital. If nothing else, we can all walk away thinking about some stuff. Because even in our own dependence, and that land example is a perfect land. If you don't want to use the system, indulge in the system, involve yourself in the system, if that's your choice, right? If that, because this ain't about a right or wrong, this is a sharing of ideal.
Right.
You still got to have an accepted currency in order to maintain the basics of your whole off-grid way of life. Because let's say we start our own little community, and I get a bottle of liquor from you for 5 squirrels. Every 2 weeks, I come to you, I get me a bottle of liquor for 5 squirrels. I can't take 20 squirrels and pay them land taxes. They're not gonna accept that. That's the kind of stuff that we have to start thinking about now, because we see where things are going. Change is inevitable. Change is the only constant. How will we adapt as a result to the changes that we see coming? Uh,
That's what
but I didn't mean to cut
that's
you
what
off,
I'm.
sis. I just had to say that.
No. You're good. No, that's. I'm just saying these are the types of things that I think about. Like, okay, people have their own businesses. Well, if you don't want to, I'm just gonna say it just so that I don't say that. If you don't want to cooperate with what they want, you lose your business. It's gonna be like the whole mark of the beast type situation. If we really look at it, if you don't succumb to what they want, first of all, they don't care about you. They truly don't. And so disposing of you or putting you in a situation to where you have needs and wants is not gonna matter because it's gonna be about the have and the have nots. If you have the money to live this way, then good. If not, then you suffer and oh well. That's just how it's gonna be. That's how it is
Right.
now.
I
It's
don't think
just
it
that
has
we
to
don't
be
really
like
see it
that.
like that.
I mean, we as I mean, we supposed to be so advanced that no, nobody shouldn't have to suffer. I mean, if we come together and know that to us coming together is how we will survive, we should um be able to do. I mean, that's how optimistic I am about this. That we,
It's gonna
with
take
all the
people that have money that feel the same way that you have. It's gonna take in every big movement when there's a resistance, it takes some of the ones that have that want to help those that don't have. It's gonna kind of be like, oh, it's 5 million of you guys that don't want to get with our program. Okay, then don't. But you 20 billion over here that want to, let's rock. We'll let them fend for themselves and see how y'all work it out. Because it's all
we would
about
be,
money and
I
power.
think we'll be okay. Money ain't everything.
But it's the
To me,
power.
it
It's
ain't.
the power. It's not the money. It's money power. Power money. If they have the power, they can control the narrative. They can make people line up and do what they want because they have the power. And if you don't want to get with my regiment, don't get with my regiment. But life's going to suck for you because I can take everything you have, because I can make deals that say that I can come onto your property. I can take your property. I can take the things that you have. I
Yeah.
can make something happen to where the law gives me that permission to do it. It's just we got to figure out how we're going to work around things.
Right. I want to get a resilient dad up in here, and Zach and David Corey also, but I want to say this first. I understand the sentiment, Boujay, 100%. Cause even for me, y'all, everybody ought to know by now, y'all, me and April ain't rich. But the way we help people, unfortunately, outside of our time and sweat equity, is through finances. Um, Many of which we able to help with extra that we get from contributions and donations from y'all. With that being said, money ain't everything, but having it is. That's an unfortunate reality that we all, in one way, shape, or form, are succumb to, at least in my life experience. But a resilient dad, go ahead, man, jump in here, bro.
Hey there, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you here? We good. We good.
Awesome. What's up, everyone? Great topic once again. Totally resonated with me when I was thinking about AI and computers and how everything is working. I think when we think about even our phones, um, it becomes a tech. It's really a strategy if we can take a step back. That if you can provide convenience to the human being, right? they'll begin to assimilate to different trade-offs, such as privacy and things like
Yep.
that, right? And then it becomes something that you need, right, because of how convenient and integrated it became in your life, right? So just understanding that at a high level, this is all something that we've engaged in via because we were interested, or it provided some type of value, or we were, you had no other choice, right? Out here in the Bay, it was about 6 years ago. I saw outside of, it was like a Kroger type of store out here. It looked like Johnny Five, right? It was a robot that just kept going up and down and around the block of the store because there
Right.
were a lot of those flash mobs going on and things like that. But I realized it wasn't even because of that alone. And I understood too when I looked into it that this AI bot, similar to the dog here, but it looked like Johnny Five in a way, just a more modern version. It can
Yeah,
give
I
you
remember.
lawful orders to stop and scan you, or it can tell you you're under the arrest. And these are lawful orders through this robot that you had to comply with. Otherwise, you will be evaded. So I thought that was something that was interesting as well. Um, and the other point too is just thinking about how AI and technology does really help us all in a lot of ways, but we also know that we have to be more hands-on with things as well, right? You have to kind of
Yes.
have the
Yes.
duality.
More hands-on.
Correct. Yeah. And thinking about AI, I mean, I said this in the chat, but AI essentially is a saying that we used to have of um, you keep repeating the same thing but expecting different results is the example of insanity. But AI is actually studying the same behaviors over and over again and learning the different nuances between that to become more productive or more valuable, right? So I think that that's something else to think about. And lastly is something called IoT, Internet of Things, which is when physical assets, or such as the physical objects that we have, our cars, our phones, your cameras, your alarm systems, your refrigerators, freezers, and dryers, and washing machines, your TV, your smart TVs, your LED lights, right? These are all connected to some source of internet. And that internet processing is something that AI continues to study to provide you more efficiencies, right? So it's already learning off of itself. And that's something that we all have already integrated with because of the convenience and efficiencies, right? And that's just something to think about too at that high scale of AI. But I didn't mean to bogart everything.
No, you good. You good, bro. This like look, man. I said it before, I say it again. This is a melding of the minds and the sharing of ideas and perspectives and experience. Uh, uh I'm I don't, for me personally, just off of a few points you made, uh as long as electricity exists, I don't see how it ever completely goes away. And whenever anything is in a state of absolution to the point where it's not dissolved, it only increases, it only grows, it only magnifies typically. I mean, that's all throughout history. I want y'all to elaborate on what 10 said, and this is exactly what I mean by that. 10, for those who can't see, the educated natural said this is another means to replace humans, using AI dogs to keep actual dogs police from being injured or worse. The military uses drones for things service personnel used to do. For my military folks out there, if
Can I
y'all
say
done ever
something?
carried. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Jump in, sis.
So when I think about the military dog, the dog, the robot, and everything, I remember a long time ago we were on Hands in the Dirt. We were on his live, and Stacy said, "Go to the jungle because they ain't going there." So if things if we got to bug out in the jungle. Well, the humans may not be going into the jungle, but that dog will go because they can take that dog and they can use the remote control and put it through, and it has its AI, so it'll be able to navigate through the vines and the trees and all of that stuff. So now it's taking it to a whole nother level, because at least if we were like, well, if things happen, we can bug out in the jungle, we could bug out, deep in the woods or whatever. Well, not with these dogs and stuff, because even if they have the drones can only go so far and navigate through so much, because if you deep in those woods, it's too much. But the dog may be able to navigate through. So, it's like they're thinking of everything. They are ahead of us. So we got to figure this out.
Or adapt. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
agree. I'm not gonna say I'm totally against AI and the development of technology, because it really, from another perspective, it allowed me to enter into a world that I had to train myself on because of the availability of technology, right? And was able to have success. Also, can see too how it bridges a lot of gaps and so many different areas in which the resources aren't necessarily there, right? So it's like there is the
right.
caveat to it, and I don't think that it's going anywhere. But also, it brings everyone together, regardless if we think that it's separating us. It's not saying that this is the end all be all, but I think that this is something that still adds value.
I agree. I'm seeing as we cover the pros and the cons, I'm seeing the benefits and the negatives to. Hey, what's up, bro? Juicing with Jay. Welcome in. Anybody else who came in, welcome in, welcome in. Um, I gotta say this. This is my personal opinion. This is not rock solid. This ain't ironclad. I think we so deep in the game, it ain't no going back. Not all the way, because it's too vital to everything that we do, see, taste, smell, touch, understand. And I'm gonna put and one of the things that makes me feel that way, I'm gonna put what Fallen Skies said up here and combine that with what Callie Pooh Bear said when she first came on. Uh, how will you Fallen Skies, for everybody who can't see it and just listening, Fallen Skies Homestead and Preparedness Channel said, how are you going to pay for fuel, water, sewage, electric, cars, food? We don't have the knowledge to really live off grid. And I want to say this in conclusion before I shut up and get y'all points of view. As somebody who's living what's considered a third world country, still sitting here on the internet with y'all. Lights happen to be on at the moment. Water is running. I do know people in remote places who are completely happy and at peace with their environment. Baby, living for real, 100% is hard as hell. Everything you eat, you kill it. Everything you taste that's not an animal, you grew it. You might be able to trade, but it ain't no electricity. You got 6 or 7 mud homes in a circle. You can't hear nothing but cows farting and birds chirping. It get boring as hell. Sit out there for 6 or 7 hours without your cell phone, without no internet, without no nothing. It's a way of life that you can't even imagine unless you try to do it for a day or two, which I have. It is a whole different ball game. A whole different ball game. And the people who live that way, the reason they sustain that way is because that's all they've ever known. You don't go from Dallas with skyscrapers and lights and restaurants and all of this stuff and then live like that and think it's not going to take a mental toll. Shit. That's just my experience. But please chat, everybody jump in. Please share your thoughts and opinions.
Because you don't have these things, does that make it bad?
No. I'm not saying it make it bad. I'm saying it make it hard as hell to come to grips with. If you've known, it's kind of like people have sugar cravings, right? Now, whether it's regular sugar or whether it's high fructose corn syrup, these things that we are accustomed to, these luxuries, these everyday things that we just grew up with, whether we know it or not, it becomes addictive. I'm saying that there will be a withdrawal process that I don't think a
Yes,
lot of
it will.
people,
Yeah,
yeah,
it is. And I think now that that's one of the things we need to do is to learn to be without stuff,
Mm-hmm.
to learn to
I don't
do with
disagree.
to learn to do with less. Like I've been in this apartment for 9 years now and have not run the heating and air conditioner system.
Right.
I only use um, the heaters. I use space heaters to heat the
Mm-hmm.
space. When I learned to only heat the space that you in, that's what I started doing. So
Yeah.
I am accustomed to not having forced heat and forced air. So if I don't
Mm-hmm.
have it, I'm okay with it. So I
Right.
think learning how to we're gonna have some kind of withdrawals, but I think if we start now, it won't be as bad when willfully I will on my thing willfully nothing really won't happen because you don't want nothing to happen because some people is not just gonna be able to adapt and it's not gonna
Of
be
course.
pretty. So I don't, hope that nothing really that bad happens at all. But um
Right. Right.
if we could get ourselves accustomed to doing with less of the conveniences that we're used to. Like the other day, we like to eat salad. So my son wanted to go to the store to get some stuff for the salad, but there was this salad dressing that we like, the creamy Italian. But the
Mm-hmm.
company that WF used to get it from no longer got it. So I told him, make your own.
Yeah.
So I said,
Yeah.
look up the ingredients and make your own. And guess what? We loved it. And I told
Mm-hmm.
him, I said, most of the time, the stuff that you make in the house tastes better than the one in the store anyway. But I mean, doing those little things, learning how to make your own mustard, your own ketchup, and getting out of the getting out of needing stuff from them. Where
Yeah.
when they say this, this you just have foul falling sky up there. I'm gonna say when they say the sky is falling, you're not concerned with it. You're
Yeah.
not. It doesn't
Yeah.
move you
You
because
got to have a point of origin. You got to have a starting
or
point.
right. With like I didn't like the the running and saying we got a shortage, as though nothing in that store you cannot make yourself. There is no
Right.
food shortage. Everything in that store you can make yourself. So how is there a food shortage?
That's a
We
perspective.
have to
That's one
stop
way to look at
thinking that everything that they have, if they don't have it, we won't have it. If for some reason something gonna happen to us because they not providing it to us, as though we cannot provide for ourselves.
Right.
I
So
agree. I
true.
agree. I agree
So
to
true.
an extent. Because it has been done before all of these luxuries were laid in place or conveniences. I won't say luxuries. I think those have two different definitions. But my thing is it can be done, it could be done, but the majority of people who would rather come slit my throat and take what I got versus going through the effort. Let's say what was the biggest thing in the world was toilet paper, right? Toilet paper. Everybody not willing to use rags, wipe their ass, and then wash out them messy towels day in and day out. They'll come if you know I got toilet paper, you'll come slit my throat for it. If your ass start getting thirsty enough, and you know good and doggone well, African Dreaming
Now
got
you're
some
talking
water.
about a whole different ball game.
Yeah, that's a whole
It's
different
gonna
ball
be a
game.
lot of people out here getting double tapped. That's a whole
For
different
sure,
ball game you're talking
for
about.
sure.
Now
But
that's what I'm talking about, where people need to keep their head and know that you ain't gonna be doing that much doodooing. You need that much toilet paper,
right.
okay? And that we gonna be okay. We
Well,
gonna be
I,
okay.
I love you for bringing some balance because we got to have some optimism and we got to have some pessimism and we got to have everything in between. Callie, I hate you fell down. I'm glad you back up
No,
here.
I'm here.
And this
Zach,
is
hold
how
on.
we gonna keep it together.
For
Because
sure.
when somebody is worried about something and
Hey,
maybe at the
Bougie,
time
real
cannot
quick.
figure out what to do, you got somebody else that'll come along and be like, okay, this is what we can do.
Right,
Right.
right. Let me let Zach jump in here. Go ahead and say what you got to say, bro.
To be honest, what scares me is that the artificial intelligence is taking emotion out of reactions. For me,
Yes.
physical emotion is everything, and it's taking it out. With that, I need to jump down, but thank you for having this conversation and have a blessed rest of your day.
Hey, it's all love, brother. Thank you for being a part of the conversation. Thank you for everything you contributed, man. Much love, much respect, and you go have a good rest of your day too, bro. And we'll catch you. All right, Zach, you take care, fam.
Can I say something?
Of course, of
Okay,
course.
so Bougie,
Anybody, jump in.
Bougie, my big sister, this is what I wanted to say. You are absolutely right. We can handle it because we see people every day, especially here in California. You have your homeless people that to a lot of people are like, "Ugh, you're homeless, you're sleeping in a tent, but they are getting all of their needs met. They are not missing meals. They have it, and then they have these communities out here
Yes.
where they are living in tents. They might be like on off
Fact,
the side of the freeway sometimes.
facts,
They may be in like in certain beach areas. You have people here. A big thing is they get those old campers, and they will stay like in LA, they have like streets where, as long as you don't leave your property, they can't tow it because you can't literally tow something when there's somebody in it or that's kidnapping. So they find out their ways to finagle around it and stuff like that. But you are absolutely right. There are a lot of different ways that we will be able to succumb to whatever the situation is. The problem is going to be a lot of people aren't maybe physically going to be able to. They're going to have to, deal with certain things, or they won't be able to get their medications, things of that nature. Like if somebody is on oxygen, they're going to have to do what they're told to do, or they won't be able to get oxygen. So it's just like we have to figure a lot of things out. And there are going to be ways that we can rise above and deal with it. We're just going to have to figure out what that's going to look like. That's what I was
I
saying.
don't think we're gonna be able to, but I think we because we don't know how it's gonna turn out. It's like hard to try to figure out how it's gonna turn out. It's like we're speculating, um but I mean to keep I don't know, I guess I keep a positive mind that however it turns out, um we'll be okay. We'll be able to, like you said, figure out what to do once we actually are in it. But until then, to mentally get ready for it.
right, right.
Yeah,
David Corey,
totally
reveal
agree.
your dad.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say, I think what Zach's point was before he dropped down, and much respect, Unique Prepping. It was something that too I had in mind when we consider technology and AI. Right, it's just a tool, and it doesn't incorporate emotion. It doesn't incorporate qualitative information that human
Mm-hmm.
beings have, and that's something that I always feel like will always be the reason why humans are needed with computers, regardless of how
Yes,
fancy or advanced that
yes,
they become.
yes,
It might be less, however, it's still required. That human interaction and connection is still
yes,
required.
yes,
Um,
yes,
but there is a lot of efficiencies and conveniences with having a super smart, system or computer or something that can really look out for you and give you heads up. Right. One of the things that I thought about too was there was this app that I use for my kid while they were just being boring, having some issues or whatnot overnight, and I was able to kind of leverage said technology to keep me abreast of any monitoring and alerts if their body conditions went to a certain level. But it didn't remove me from, regardless if the app told me something or not, always checking in on them regardless, right? And I feel like that's the duality of it. You have the metrics and things like that that technology can afford, but also you still have that common sense as being a human being to know that technology can fail like anything else. Yeah.
Absolutely. There's a thing in most aircraft, fixed wing aircraft, and even other, beautiful aircraft like Chinooks, like the CH-47 cargo helicopter. They all have an AFCS in it. It's an automatic flight control system. And even though you have this sophisticated piece of equipment that, has been around since the late 50s, early 60s, look here, man, you still need two pilots in that joint. You do. You still need two pilots in that joint. And I think the advancements are gonna be rapid. I think that the ability to potentially, depending on the industry, depending on need, can call for like you said, bro, a lack of humans, a lack of human interaction or intervention or what have you, depending on the need and the industry. But uh I want to say that's years away. I want to say that's not in my lifetime, but I think we're gonna see more and more of that over the duration and course of all of our lifetimes. Lord willing, we keep on living and keep on chugging away at this thing called life. But I want to get David Corey in here, and I want to hear y'all thoughts as we ain't winding down yet because I got a couple more things to say, but I just want to give everybody opportunity to get in and share their thoughts.
I think it's been started, y'all. Long ago when we got these cell phones, I think it started way back then. It started long ago, and we kept the ball rolling, giving our children cell phones. And like you were saying, they're not going to have a feeling. Well, a lot of this stuff, yeah, we participated in and we did it. In some kind of way, we got to get better at teaching our children.
Yeah, that's the thing that I'm trying to do. I have young adults, but I'm attempting to get them to wean off of some of the social media. Like I said earlier, get my son to unplug when he's going to sleep. Take that stuff out your ear. Put that stuff up. You're going to sleep. Let your brain rest.
Yeah, yeah. And with that being said, with what David Corey said and with what Bouger said, now not to get too spiritual or too philosophical in this regard either. I personally think there's different worlds, different realities, and different planes of existence. Some people see it biblically, some people see it strictly spiritually. Um, this thing we doing right now, this place, this space we living in, is making me feel more and more secure and possibly correcting my assessment because of my observation. I'm old enough. Bougie said this earlier. Uh, she from the old school. She can remember when, the before time, the long, long ago. I was talking about I can remember the Dewey Decimal System. When libraries didn't even have no computer, didn't nobody, not even the librarian, nobody had no computer, baby. Everybody was pulling out cards and 10-foot long drawers so you could go through that Dewey Decimal System and find the book you were looking for. With that being said, I don't know to what extent it's a
And what
detriment.
was wrong with that? Excuse me, African. And what was wrong with that?
I'm not saying nothing was wrong with it, but I'm talking about where we at now. Just because something was the way it was and it was working, that don't mean that other things ain't gonna come along because that's equally as effective, David. I feel you, bro. But what I'm saying now, I see the constant integration of technology and the human psyche. Like when Bougie said she tell her boy, man, take them earbuds out, just go to sleep regular. Just we never escape. Let's say for lack of a better term, let's just call it a matrix. We so integrated and so intertwined in a constant and I'm guilty of it myself. Y'all see me in chats all the time. If it ain't me, it's April. If we ain't working, if we can't be in there, I'm probably listening. I'm not saying how good it is or how bad it is, but I'm saying, damn it, it's something. It is something. And I don't know what it's doing. I don't know what it's taking away from the things we used to call souls or still call souls. I don't know what we taking away from what is or what was the human experience and the human element. But at the same time, I'm not for it or against it, because all it boils down to is how it's ultimately used and when it's
Yes.
used,
Yeah.
who it's used
Hmm.
for or who it's
Yeah.
used against. And that's it. But
We
y'all
gotta
chat,
learn. We
please. Y'all
gotta
go
learn.
ahead.
We gotta learn how to unplug. Like I take Sundays off. I'm not on the internet on a Sunday. We have to. We have to. That's part of like learning to do without. I mean, I'm not against. I'm like you said. I'm not against it. I mean, like it's how it's being used.
Right,
Even
right.
YouTube, you got to learn how to unplug from YouTube.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. That's what I do. I turn everything off on a Sunday.
10, you too young to talk about know about what a do it, excuse me, do it decimal system is. She don't know nothing about that, y'all. She heard us say it, now she talking about it. Gina versus Gina said nothing was wrong with it. However, paper can be destroyed from water or ice. Technology has allowed us to have access to things that we want. And that's something else. Y'all, thank you for saying that, Gina, because I have to admit both pros and both cons. Because the truth of the matter is, between moving around and being in different countries and just different stuff over the years, even this last live I did, if you could tell, some of those was old Polaroids. Y'all, some of y'all too young to remember back when you used to have to go get the bulbs, the 6 bulbs you stick down in it, and then get the developed paper and stick it in the camera and take a picture and it come out and you got to shake it or lay it down. Some of them were pictures I had taken with a phone, but they was
Talk
old
about a
Polaroids.
Polaroid. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, them was pictures of my mom that had it not been for not only the technology, but being able to store them up in the cloud, understanding fully that that gives somebody else access to them. But a part of me was so happy to just still be able to see my mama and daddy from 20 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So it's it's complicated, family. It's complicated,
But you
man.
know what you can do with the technology? Okay, we can advance into it, but also know how to, when it's not there, what to do.
Right,
Don't make it
right.
where the tech, where you using the technology so much and got so, you know, comfortable with it that when it's not there, you don't know what to do. Like the library system, the computers and stuff went down. You need to have some index cards in the drawer so you can pull them out and, and start
Yes,
using the index
yes,
cards and use them
ma'am.
again.
Yeah, yeah. I
You
don't
know,
disagree.
that goes back to what lead teaches us with practicing our preps. If we
Mm-hmm.
know how to do stuff, if the power goes out or if we don't have, clean water and we know how to filtrate and make fresh water ourselves, then it's not as scary,
Right.
you know.
Exactly.
And that's one thing I can say for the past few years, pretty much all of us in this chat have been doing. We've all been to one level or another, been, learning how to cook off grid, learning how to grow our own vegetables. We've been preparing for it. So in the event that things do happen, I'm sorry, y'all, I'm not at home. In the
Oh,
event
you
that
good.
something
You
does
good.
happen, we will all be able to work together. And I am going to say something else. When we were talking about there are benefits to AI, I agree, because guess what? There's a clinic out here, and I don't know if it's all throughout the United States, but I know it's in California. And you go to this clinic and they scan you. They scan you from the front to the back, I believe, and it's supposed to let you know all of your health ailments. You know, are you pre-diabetic? Are you close to having a heart attack or a stroke or any of those things? And I'm sure on some level, all of that is AI. You know, so it's good because it can prevent you from dying or, you know, having a stroke or something like that. And a lot of AI is used in surgery and stuff like that. You know, they're using robots in surgery and stuff like that. And I remember, I know you remember, Jay, when we went to Chili's last year, and I
I
showed
remember
y'all
that.
the robot
Yeah.
bringing us our food.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's gonna put
I've talked
people out
about
of
that a couple
business.
times.
It's
Yeah.
gonna put people out of
That's
business. But
crazy. Wow. Now, see,
yeah,
I
that
don't
was
know. If
last
I think if I
year.
would come up with something like that, I'd have been like, could you bring me a real person? I'm sorry. Y'all
But
not just
see,
gonna take us out like that. I'm sorry. I'm not
right,
co-signing for this. Bring me a real
right,
waitress here ASAP.
right. And then if you guys saw Michael Farmer's video the other day, he put this video out that showed the robot being worked so hard that it broke down. And he
I
was
heard
like,
Yeah.
"What?"
about
Yeah.
that.
I've seen that
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
And I was like, because the caption was, "If they work the robot to death like this, what do you think they doing to us?" And I was just like,
Mm-hmm.
no comment. No comment. But these are the kind of things that we have to look out. It's like you said, Jay, it's always going to be pros and cons. We just have
Right.
to make sure that we put ourselves in the best situation. So if you have high blood pressure, if you have diabetes, if you have lupus and all of these things, right now was the time to be figuring out what you can do to better your situation. If you want to start growing different herbs and stuff like that, a lot of people don't understand. A lot of the vitamins that we get when they're in those capsules, all you have to do is make it yourself. They have those little capsule pills. Grow those herbs and put them in a dehydrator and grind them up. That's what they do, you
Right.
know?
Right.
And a lot of those things, if you look on those bottles, they are not regulated. But we go to the store and we buy them all the time. So
Dude,
you
ain't
can,
nothing regulated at this point.
there you go. So why
And,
not
and
do
that,
it yourself? And then you know what you're truly putting in your body.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, you know,
Yeah,
and
totally
like
agree.
a lot of it is unregulated. Resilient Dad, I want you to get in here too, David Core. I'm gonna say this, and I want everybody to go around one more again and just share your thoughts. And but I'm gonna say this to just kind of give my position and where I stand. Even though I initiate these conversations, I think they are very extremely important. We need to talk about them. We got to converse over them, and we got to share our thoughts and our ideas. A part of me sits with something else. This world that I'm living in was somebody else's before it was mine, and it's gonna be somebody else's after I'm gone. I don't. I like discussing these issues because I find them intriguing. I find them interesting, thought provoking, and sometimes extremely deep. But at the end of the day, the only thing I can truly do, however, whatever way, shape, or form I find in doing it, is to make it a little bit better for whoever come next in whatever way I do that, because I'm here for a visit, baby. I'm this temporary for me, and I'm not trying to. Y'all already know I'm not even a religious person, but that ain't got nothing to do with my relationship with the Creator. I'm not gonna be able to fix with just little old African dreaming or a handful of us all the ails of the world. I don't even think I'm supposed to. I'm supposed to experience, love, and make better wherever I can. So I don't stress too hard about all the things that's coming. I pay attention to them, and having wisdom, I try to prepare for them as best I can, just like I would a thunderstorm down there in East Texas. Hell, if I know a tornado coming, you got things you need to put away so they ain't blowing, hitting the house. You got animals you might need to tie up and put them somewhere safe. But you reach a point where when you know a storm coming, you just do all you can do and you leave the rest. You leave the rest to the Most High. So I don't want it to be misunderstood because I talk about these issues and these subjects. I just want y'all to know what my position is and where I come from and where I stand on it all. But please, everybody, y'all go ahead. Y'all continue.
Yeah, real quick, Miss Kelly, are you referring to the DEXA scan?
It was a company that came out about 4 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and I cannot remember the name of it. But it's like a one name thing, but it's not that you said DEXA? No.
Yeah, DEXA.
No, it was something else, like live or something like that. It started off,
Ah,
it was
okay.
like $99. Then the
Mm-hmm.
next year it went up to like $100 and something dollars. And then it went up to like two something. Now in the past year, I haven't really seen the commercials, but that was something that came out before the sea came, and
Mm-hmm.
it was just really a good thing. I was scared of it because I was like, wait a minute, they're scanning the whole body, but I mean, when you go get an MRI or a CAT scan, they scan you, you know. So I'm like, well, you gotta let that go. Quit being scared. But
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah, I'm not for sure if there was another company or what, but I am familiar with the DEXA scan.
Mhm.
That can it doesn't diagnose anything, but it does show you the complexities within your bone density and body, and can also show you areas that could have potential tumoric growth, but it doesn't diagnose anything. Actually, I did that when I started my training for this marathon here, and I never seen anything like that. But it was one thing to have that type of scan compared to like a body fat mass index type of thing, where you got a clamp and all that stuff, each part of your
Right,
body.
right,
But the DEXA kind of like it was a little scary because I was involved in a accident years ago, and I had a bruised rotator cusp, and with that, it showed me like everything that was going on with that, and I was like, man, is this real or am I just paying for somebody else's report or something like that? But I later found out that it was pretty thorough in its assessment, and it was pretty shocking to me, to be able to see that you'll just take a 30-minute scan of your entire body and be able to see the different things that are going on. Yeah.
right, right. You're right, Gina. I agree.
Yeah, and a resilient dad to what you said, man. First off, I hate you had a situation like that. But secondly, man, um, this ain't from a sideways or scary perspective of, but man, how Star Trek is that? How Star Trek is that? Where you just get a scan and it allows medical professionals and interpreters to allude to all of these other existing issues, potential issues. That's what I'm saying, man. We talking about it helps us to reach these forms of revolutions or revelations rather, and learn other important information from other people because I can tell you this: California got medical technology that Louisiana just ain't got. I'm talking about LSU medical and all of that. The different places have different things. It's so important for us to learn from each other's lived experiences. So, for one, it may not be as scary as intimidating, and for two, we can absorb it in a more objective manner, if that make any sense.
Yeah, agreed. I think that regardless of technology or not, right, as far as your health, you should always know your numbers, right,
Mhm.
at all times. And, uh, having people in my family that were, succumb to dementia, succumb to MS, I can only imagine if they were able to get these assessments done earlier to be ahead of the curve, like sooner than later, right? And then those aspects, right? Technology isn't necessarily the enemy, right? It's all about, as what it was said before, it's all about how we choose to use it, right? But it always requires a human interaction, regardless.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Uh, y'all, we getting ready to wind it down, man. I just want to give, but let me say this before I start with I don't know if Vision's still listening or not. If you available, bruh, you can jump back in. I'm gonna start with Bougie Prepper and give give Bougie opportunity because to go first because tonight, Wednesday night, shout out Wind Down Wednesday, Bougie Prepper, Hands in the Dirt, and the Everyday Life of an OCD is chick. Everybody up here, talk about your thoughts as well as your channels. I'm gonna start with Bougie Prepper, and we just gonna work it on around.
You know good and well, I don't be talking about no channel.
I said talk about your channel. She will not. She don't. Y'all, she
No,
beyond
I'm not.
modest. Go ahead, sis. Go ahead.
But I think we came to a conclusion. This was a good talk that we are not against the advancement of technology. It's just how it would be used is what
Yeah.
is our concern. And like Pooh Bear said, and how do we plan to deal with it when that time comes? If it's used against us, that's what we need to figure out what to do. Nothing. The technology is neither good nor bad. It's just how it's being used.
Right. Right.
That's how I feel. And I think too, if some things, if we don't participate in them, they can't use it against us. But like y'all said, if it's enough of us not participating, it'll work. But if you got the masses that got the dope fiend for it, then yeah, we gonna have an issue.
Right. Right. Following ladies first, if y'all don't mind. David Corey, you tipped on out of here. If you still listening, boy, you jump back up here and give your final thoughts as well. But in the manner of being a gentleman, we gonna slide on over to Cali Homestead with Pooh Bear next. Cali, tell them about your channel as well as your closing thoughts.
Okay, my closing thoughts are just we have to know, for those of you who do believe in God, that He's gonna protect and provide. We have to be wise, and so if the writing is on the wall, read it and figure out how it's gonna affect you. That would be my thing with that. With my channel, we are a homesteading channel. We do everything from gardening to canning to cooking off grid to camping. We do everything, and we homeschool. So we are just a variety channel, and we have fun. We have 6 kids, so it's a lot going on over here on Pooh Bear's channel. And thanks for having me up here.
You more than welcome, sis. I saw you getting back on the kind of in the early morning a little bit doing your thing again. I see you out there, sis. Y'all for
Oh
the
yeah, my
longest for those
inspirations.
yes, yes. For the longest, for those who don't know, early in our YouTube experience, Callie Homestead with Pooh Bear was one of those people who I don't know where she found the strength. I don't know how she would crunk that early in the morning, but she would jump on and give these morning inspirationals. I found them amazing, and especially when you looking for some inspiration on your own. That's just try to this is the kind of person and the type of people I try to surround myself with, both in my let's for lack of a better term call it real life as well as my virtual life. So thank you for that, sister. uh we gonna
You trying to make me cry?
girl hush, girl hush. Ain't nobody trying to make you cry. we just love what you do. We love what you do, and same thing for Bougie Prepper. I mean, we over here. When you starting stuff, doing stuff, you don't. The first hell, April did. When we first got our little merch stuff, and Bouger's Prep was sitting up there with a damn African Dreaming T-shirt on. April got emotional. You know what I'm saying? I'm a boy. I am a man. So I can't be getting in my feelings like that. But April was like, "Oh my God, I can't believe she." You know how a woman be getting
That's what we
sometimes.
supposed to be doing, right? Supporting each
That's
other,
right.
right?
That's right. That's right. And it's just, I mean, as long as we've been rocking with each other, it's just so beautiful to have this connection and these levels of conversations after all this time we've been on this here YouTube machine. But I'm gonna go to the next gentleman right here, a resilient dad, bro. What's your closing thoughts and tell people about this little event you got coming up and why you do what you do? Because you're an amazing supporter. Just tell people about you, your closing thoughts, and go on and get it, bro.
Yeah. Thank you. No real closing thoughts, just a couple of points. I'm heavy in all of you guys' channels and communities. I'll be in the bushes a lot. But one of the things that inspires me to even, show up, offer even watch hours, likes, or anything of a super chat or a cash app, it's because of what you do, right? And the value that you actually add to my life, regardless if you know it or not. And that's why my wife and I will always be present with you guys and always supporting you, because of what you do and what you choose to do. You don't have to do. I have the race and all that good stuff going on. I don't want to promote it just in case I fall out there, but at the same time, it's for a genuine cause. So I'll keep being in the bushes with you all. God bless.
God bless. Thank you, bro. Thank you for coming up and sharing your thoughts. And since he won't do it, I'm gonna do it. Just like Bougie Prep, I said, Wind Down Wednesday. I want y'all to go support my brother Stacy, Hands in the Dirt over there, as well as Bougie Prepper and Nikki, the Everyday Life of an OCD chick. One is in July, and I think the other one is in June. It is a 5K family. It is a 5K for dementia, and it's also for Alzheimer's. If I'm correct me if I'm mistaken, brother, Alzheimer's and dementia.
Yeah.
It's a five.
So I'm
Go
running,
ahead.
dementia and MS. Yeah.
And MS. My
Yeah.
bad. My apologies. MS.
Where's that going to
Okay.
be at?
Yeah, so that's in the heart of San Francisco. July 22nd is the 5K, and then that Sunday is for the full marathon. Earlier that morning is the 10K as well.
And it's only running, or is it walking as well?
Running.
It's whatever you want to do, but I'll be trying to run as much as I call it running.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, kudos to you, brother, because for all my folks who done ever been in the doggone military, man, you done ever ran with an assault pack for X amount of miles. Running, especially the older you get, hashtag ankles, hashtag knees, uh, it takes some endurance, not only physical endurance, but it takes some mental endurance. And I just want to say shout out to you, brother, for having the
Totally agree.
dexterity.
Yeah. And I think
Step
that
out
that's
there.
something too, after having kids and establishing my family more, getting deep into corporate and, entrepreneurship and things like that I do. It was one of those things where it kind of called me back home. I think me
Yeah.
doing training is, pretty interesting, right? I have a trainer that we do mobility training, strength and conditioning, the diet as well, which is crazy for me right now with,
No,
with just
no
the
more
crazy work
steaks.
hours.
No steaks, bro.
So that's the thing. I did indulge in a steak on Mother's Day, but
No steaks,
uh,
mashed potatoes, and
I,
greens. Come on.
I had to pay for it, like I knew I had to do it. I knew I wanted to do it, but I knew I had to pay for it too,
Okay.
So it was like that part. But I
Yeah.
think the diet is the most thing, and then just making sure that you create your own time. I always find my best conversations with God out when I'm like, a 3 mile run or a 6 mile run, and then we do another 3 mile run, take a rest day, and do a 15 mile run. And it's like I always find myself out there just being alone, and it kind of feels like where you're in the audience and you're presenting, but you imagine the whole audience like naked, so you don't feel embarrassed.
That's
As I
right.
used to say.
That's right.
Because it becomes a point where it's just like you realize, all right, it's just you out there, you and God,
Right.
and
That's it.
what you're
Right.
doing it for. So for me, that's my meditation, and that's something that I love to do, even though I would say it's a loving pain, right? It's nothing that you look forward to waking up as early after wake up, before like my wife and daughter and kids wake up. But it's something that it's like an investment, in myself, so I can be a better person for everyone. Let alone what we're doing it for. MS and dementia is something that has uh, challenged our families, both sides of our families, and it's something that I've seen a lot of God. Not
Yeah.
to even go too deep because I know we're almost at three
Oh, you
hours
good.
here. But
You
for
good,
dementia
fam. You
alone,
good.
I had a family member that was in dementia, and went to her coma, dementia, and then maybe 6 months later ish, after being in the coma for dementia, she came out during like the last prayer, and the doctors and stuff were about to remove the machines, and she came out knowing everything and even cracking jokes like she used to crack jokes, right? And it was
Amen.
Wow.
one of those things. It was like, when you
Amen.
actually see that,
Man.
you have to know that you have that strength and that power and that source of God in you. So even though I have a unique situation being in technology, I have a lot of analog ways based on the community
Hmm.
that invested in me. Yeah.
Yes,
Say,
sir.
say, Resilient Dad, say that again for the people in the back, because that's key right there. Analog,
So
old school.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So yeah, my dad just turned 80 years old. My mom just turned 75, and they're in well health, beat cancer both a couple of times each.
Yep.
And it just they came from that old school, let
Yes.
alone, the community around us, you know, we were younger and things like that than them, and technology was moving like crazy. But one thing that I learned that I passed down or I hope to pass down and be a representation of is when our parents couldn't like figure something out because of the advancement of technology or math, and we needed someone, they will seek out a mentor in our communities to help us learn that. They will find someone to help us learn that, right? So there was never a misstep. And I think that that's just to the quality of people that they were and they are, and passed down to me as well, my brothers and sisters.
That's what's up, bro. That's what's up.
Yep.
Man, thank you for sharing. Thank you for that, like a bit of a testimony, if you will. And just thank you for being who you are, the support you give to the community, um, the way not only you contribute, and the way you contribute in all forms, your the way you involve yourself in conversations, the way you support from the bushes or up in the chat. I mean, it's all love, bruh. And I don't know how I'm fortunate enough to have come across you or made your acquaintance, but I'm glad I did, and I'm glad we did, and however we found one another, uh, I consider it a blessing. And since I got to say something real quick about David Corey. David Corey had to step away. He was up here in the chat. He had to step away, get some work done. But shout out to you, my brother David Corey. He dropped his link in the chat. Everybody up here, please drop y'all link in the chat so people who may not know you or be familiar with you can find you and connect with you. I'm saying all that before I go to vision preparedness to wind it down. And I want to say this too, since I got two tech guys up here. Now I ain't ready for it yet, but one of these days, man, y'all two small folk, y'all gonna have to help your boy design an app. I want to design an app, and I'm gonna call it I don't know whether I want to go with what. Why you laughing, bruh? What? I don't know if I want to call it Squirrels Are Us or Squirrel Watch. No,
I
no,
knew
this
you
real
were supposed
talk
to say
though.
something crazy. That's why I
No,
was laughing.
but
The
it ain't
name of the
crazy
app.
though.
Look, we
the
just
beauty of
talking about the AI. Do you know the AI could write your thing? Is that true? Is what I heard?
It
It
is
can
Yeah,
write
true.
a
Miss
thing
Bougie, you're
and
It,
make
right. Yeah,
a
you
app
it was
for
you
you.
better
used.
go
Yeah,
to Chat GPT and tell them to write you an app, and it'll be done in 5 seconds.
yeah.
yeah.
So
Well,
I'm a
I want
senior
human
member of
help.
Chat GPT. Also, I'm a part of. I work with one of the companies that creates all these AI graphics. I work with
Mhm.
that team. And it's interesting because you really could get the framework for any app compared to how hard it used to be.
Right. Well, that's true, but that ain't what I asked y'all for. I said I want two humans helps.
I
I
see. I knew he was gonna say that.
I said I want two human help because out of all the things I done ate in my life, them the only things I feel a little bad about because I like looking at them. You ever see them just run up and down a tree when you got that mothberg sitting on them and you feel a little guilty, but you know you thinking about later on in the day. So, but it's more than just gray squirrels like how it is back in Texas. Those are majority. Man, you got red squirrel, damn
That's what
near
I got.
albino
Red squirrels.
squirrel.
Oh,
See, that's what I'm
there we
saying.
go.
I got
Black
red
squirrel,
squirrels. Yeah.
bruh. I really do want to do something so folk can look at them and again, you know, beautiful and delicious. But I'm gonna reach out to both of y'all offline and we can talk about that and set that up and get me an app going. But
Yeah, I was
now
gonna also like challenge
go
you
ahead.
to think: is it just a mobile app? Do you want to have a native like desktop application too? Right. There's a few things that you can do when it comes to application these days and the accessibility of it. Do you just want it to be mobile facing, right, and browser like worthy, or do you want to kind of have all three so it's accessible to everyone? And we didn't
Mm,
get into the different
What?
languages too that you want to have
mm,
with that, but
mm,
yeah.
mm.
Well, sir.
I didn't
Cha-ching,
mean I don't want to go
cha-ching,
technical, but
cha-ching.
something to think about. Yeah.
Well, first off, I don't even know what you said, but I'm thinking, I'm, I'm
Resilient
thinking
dad.
recipes. I'm thinking
Don't
recipes.
don't hurt him. Don't hurt him.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah.
hurt him.
Don't hit me without your smart man jargon. I'm thinking recipes. Whatever you can do to add recipes to it, then we can start on that part, and then the interface can be gravy. So before
Lord have
before I go
mercy.
on over to
Yeah.
vision preparedness, I just want to say thank all of y'all, everybody who been up here, everybody who's been in the chat, all you lovely people. Um, this is another pop up. Now I had the time this week, so y'all see, because I never go live this much because I don't have time to do it. This week was a little bit different for us. Next week is gonna be back to just Tuesdays and Fridays. Maybe a pop up in the future after that, but I really enjoyed this, man, and I want to go ahead and give my brother Vision Preparedness an opportunity to give his final thoughts on tonight's conversation, talk about his channel, as well as talk about the 2nd through the 4th, which is Bug Out Weekend. Go ahead, bro.
First of all, African Dreaming, thank you for allowing me to participate in this thought provocative topic, because it is something that you may not have to understand it, but you need to be aware of it and
Yeah.
dig into it, folks. Do your own research, because of course we on the panel we don't know it all, but
Mm-mm.
we have our own thoughts and conceptions. But you know, it's coming, it's here. You need to figure out how either you're going to embrace it or not. That's basically it. But for those of y'all that do know me, don't know me, vision preparedness, we teach emergency preparedness and planning. We talk about preparation, and more preparation for those unforeseen events that may hit us in the head, may come across us in life. Bug Out Weekend, June 2nd through the 4th. We are getting together in Dayton, Ohio. It'll be 2 weeks from this Friday. You can still register. This event is free. It'll cost you time and gas money. We're going to be teaching several courses that, in my opinion, could save your life in the event of anything, in a disaster, natural or man-made. Come out and meet some like-minded folks. And we're going to have huge giveaways of all kind of stuff. You can find out more on our website, visionpreparedness.org, and hit the About page, and you can register for the Bug Out Weekend. And come on out, folks. And even if you can't come for the whole weekend, come Saturday. I do know, if she's still in the chat, Gina versus Gina, she's coming out for the day on Saturday to hang out. Can't wait to meet her. You know, and learn some stuff, because we all don't know everything. But when you bring a collective of like-minded people together, amazing things happen. And thank you, Jay, again, man, for allowing me to be on your panel, to enjoy your conversation, to enjoy everybody's conversation, because this is how we learn and grow, folks, by coming together and exchanging ideas.
No doubt, brother, no doubt. You more than welcome, and I'm so happy to have my two sisters who I don't get to spend a lot of time with, Bougie Prepper and Callie Homestead with Pooh Bear, be a part of the conversation, because
yes,
you know, again, time difference, we miss each other a lot. Bougie, hashtag vampire, she one of them late nighter.
Yep.
and Callie,
No,
it
I
might as
don't be
well
up.
be, because I know you don't be up. And Callie's so early. Now we already 9 hours away from the East Coast. So if you add that extra 3, it's like, man, we miss each other all the time. So we
all the
both be,
time.
yeah, we be replay game. But this is not only the conversation itself, it's just been good to spend time with y'all and hear y'all voice and catch up with you. And speaking of AI, and I'm gonna wind it down on this.
Jay, before you wind it down, can I say something?
Yeah, of course, girl, go ahead.
Okay, so this is a plug for our channel. For Precious and I, we are having the West Coast meetup, and it's gonna be June the 3rd. You heard us talking about it before. You heard me talking about it before.
Yeah.
So it's just gonna be us going to Newport Beach, and we're gonna be having a barbecue and bonfire and everything, and it's totally free. We're trying to have it kind of like a potluck, but whoever wants to come, if you're in Cali, if you're gonna come down or whatever, we're gonna be having a ball. But the other thing is October the 6th through the 9th, I'm having the West Coast Cruise Up. And so what we're doing is we're going to be going on the Carnival Cruise. It's the 6th to 9th, so it's Friday to Monday. We're going to be leaving out of Long Beach, California, and we're going to be going to Catalina, and then we're going to Baja, Mexico. It's not expensive at all. If anybody is interested, and I mean, you can come from literally wherever. You're just gonna have to fly in if you're not close. But San Francisco to LA is only $45 round trip, from what I understand. My auntie just did it. Just saying. But we're gonna be having a ball, and the cheapest rooms are like $3 something a person, and it's two person occupancy minimum. But the most expensive room with the balcony and everything is $5 something a person. And so the way we're doing it is, if everybody puts their deposit down by the 30th of $120, then you have until July 20th to finish paying it off. So if anybody's interested, hit me up in my email is Callie Homesteading with PB at gmail.com. Callie Homesteading with PB at gmail.com. We would love for you guys to come out and hang out with us. We are going to have a ball. I have a lot of stuff planned that I've been working out with my travel agent and the worker from one of the ladies from Carnival. So if this goes good, we're going to be trying to plan a few of these a year. So check us out. Thanks, Jay.
Oh, no doubt, sis. Keep an eye on your IG. After this, I'm gonna be reaching out to you. We gotta connect so we can work out some details and just keep your eye on your IG. But man, that's what it's all about, family. Sharing ideas, sharing thoughts. Callie out there doing her thing. Um, this is a lot of what I absorb from. I know vision preparedness, even though everybody here is in the preparedness and or prepping community to some extent. Bouger touched on this a couple times tonight, man. We have to remain optimistic about some part of whatever the future holds, or what the hell are we fighting for? What are we waking up for every day? We got to believe in something. We got to have something to look forward to. And events like this are just those opportunities, a chance to get together, be together, see one another in person, shake hands, collaborate, share ideas, hug on each other, love on each other. I mean, that's what it's all about, man. But I'm Pooh Bear, did you freeze up on me? Can y'all see Pooh Bear? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I hear you, Jay.
I'm here.
Yeah,
I hear you.
yeah,
Okay.
I'm
we can
here.
hear
Oh,
you.
Can
okay.
you
Pooh
hear
Bear
me?
froze. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. You just froze up for a second and it got real
Oh,
quiet. But it's all good, sis. I was just saying I'm gonna check your IG after this and I'm gonna reach out to you so we can get some details and whatnot. But man, I'm thank y'all. Thank all of y'all.
are you thinking
Later
about
on,
coming?
I don't. Y'all gonna have what you go? Is we gonna have some goat or what? What we talking about here? What's going on?
I can work out. I can work with Carnival to get us some goat on there so that if that's because that's what it's gonna take for you to come. Like I will sneak some goat
I would
on
just I would
goat.
just love to see you. We missing events. We miss so much stuff. We can't even make bug out weekend, but we
Right.
really trying to get home and we ain't said much nothing one way or the other. But there's an event coming up June 16th. There's a 2A meetup in Thomasville, Georgia. Regular gun guy is having a regular meetup. We really trying hard to have everything squared away over here so we can in fact be a part of that, but we ain't nothing solidified yet
Okay.
because we got to have stuff over here ready to be gone for at least a month and a half before we come back to the States. But
Right.
that don't mean we can't help you with what you got going on in the meantime, sis, because that's what it's all about.
Right.
So we gonna work on that, but I'm gonna reach out to you after this. Y'all make
Okay.
sure later on tonight. Vision, you ain't got you went hard last night. You ain't got nothing going on tonight, do you, bro?
I do. I'm not going to be home. What time you talking about doing something?
Well, I'm gonna be on with Motivation from the Weightlifting Geek later on for his after work live,
I'll be
but
there
that's
tonight.
okay. But you personally don't have nothing going on, do you?
No, I do not. Not tonight.
Okay.
Tomorrow night at 8 o'clock.
Tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Y'all catch
Correct.
Vision Preparedness. If y'all want to hear my sister Bouger Prepper over there supporting my brother Hands in the Dirt, as well as the everyday life of an OCD-ish chick for Wind Down Wednesday, then y'all can hear my sister again later on tonight. And I just want to say respectfully to hold on a minute, man. Hold on a minute. I gotta get
There
my
you
man
go.
right before I get
I
out of here.
see it. Yep. Get him right.
My goodness. All right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here go George. We got to
Go
get
ahead,
him.
George.
Thank you, my brother, a resilient dad, not only for your contribution to the channel, but for also coming up, offering your insight and your thoughts. And Man, me and April appreciate you, bro. When we help, when we get blessed, it puts us in a position to bless others and help others more. So it's all love, fam. I really do appreciate that. And with that being said, hey, what's up, Ghetto? How you doing, bro? We winding down, man. We finna get out of here. But to each and every one of you, if y'all got a few seconds, 2-3 minutes, y'all hang back for just a minute. Y'all know what it is. Y'all know how it go. No guarantees that I never did this before, so I might end up doing another live tomorrow just to say, hell, I done did a whole working week worth of lives. I ain't never did that before. Man, come on now. These Bush people are gonna come out at the last minute. Gigi, god damn. Gigi, yo, Gigi's Naturals Homestead and Eco Neighbor, hashtag Team Eco.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Hi,
yeah.
Gigi. Hi, Eco.
GG in the house.
Yeah, Gigi up in here. I just want to say, man, if y'all haven't checked them out, I was finna go, but I gotta give a few seconds. Gigi, if you ain't in a position to do it, I got to drop your hashtag BCIAC myself if you can't do it. Man, y'all, I'm telling you, everything we've been talking about, especially last night's live, when we talking about having land and what comes with it and getting out there, that ain't something everybody want to do. Everybody is not interested in having land because it comes with a lot. But for those who are and for those who do, it might willy-nilly, if you don't know your history, seem like, oh well, I'm just finna go buy a piece of land and all is well. Let me plant some baby. You need to know them folks who live 6 miles down the road,
That's
11
true.
miles that way behind you. Vision preparedness up here, baby, it comes with a lot. Now, I'm not
Yes,
saying
it
all these
does.
folks around you out to get you, but if you
Right.
look at the history of the world and the history of the way things have happened in the US, when it comes to people who look like me owning land, it comes with way more than you think sometimes. So just be mindful of that. But if you want to learn how to acquire land, if you thinking about it, I know Callie homesteading with Pooh Bear. I know, she still got a little LA off in her, but she out there living that country life too. Look here, man. Reach out to people who done live what you anticipating so you can get a better perspective and maybe some wisdom and some guidance that may not only save you some money, but some time as well as some effort. So
I'm living that California country life.
that Cali country life. Yeah. Down south, in Texas, I might chomp down on a squirrel, you chomp down on some In and Out burger and go
No,
on
you
back to the
don't
house.
understand. I see the Confederate flag out here every now and then. I'm literally California country.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I know. I saw the same thing in Oregon, same thing in Washington State, same thing in Northern Cali when I was living there. It's crazy because I was like, damn, I thought that was an East Texas thing. Y'all traveling and moving about the cabin will open your eyes to some stuff that you thought was only limited to certain places. Baby, shit. Like them old folks say, keep on living. Gigi, ain't nobody ask you nothing. Ain't nobody ask you nothing about what school or none of that. Hey, it's me five. How you doing, sister? Welcome, welcome. I'm
Me
sorry we
five.
finna
Good
get
to
out
see
there.
you.
We winding this thing down. We finna close it out, but it's been a great conversation, man. I love all of y'all. Again, everybody in the chat who came through for us, who just offered thoughts and opinions. My man Zach came through, David Corey, Bougie Prepper, uh, Vision Preparedness, Cali Homesteading with Pooh Bear, everybody who came up and just really did their thing, everybody in the chat, man, we love y'all. We appreciate y'all. And y'all know how it go down, baby. Until the next time that we see y'all and y'all see us, we gonna be over here being country in another country.